I need that sports encyclopedia. U.S. Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut. Yeah.
Where you at, man? In the gym shooting, I'm Durant. You ain't shooting John Moran.
Darnell is the Ball State legend. I'm the Warren Central High School legend.
I'm proving with a reliable source, straight from the mouth of the horse. Smitty and JB and Smitty from West Coast to Yost.
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
Better stay in your lane. How did
you are fucking insane. Dude, what? You just will not give this guy his flowers. What is wrong with you?
Oh, you must have thought I was a bitch.
I am him. You's not it. What's the topic? With your logic when I flow. Big Komodo, how it's
You gotta get back to letting the baby cry a little bit to see if they can soothe themselves.
That's a bar.
Issues get pressed so past it don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown killed it, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing, we switched it and filled the gap.
I identified him after his third fight and I said that guy can be a star.
I'm so proud of the show, bro.
The gap. Smitty and Jason Brown.
To the Coach JB show.
What up? We are in the building. We got that new merch. Coach JB Show visors on the CoachJBStore.com. We got a new ad sponsor, as you know, BetUS. It's everywhere. You see our new logo behind me. You'll see it on the show. You'll see it on the banner. BetUS is now powering this show, the realest show on Planet ERF, the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. So we'll get you all the deliverables here soon so you can use our promo code because we'll be using BetUS for the long haul as it is the best offshore book on Planet ERF. And I'm glad to be partnered up with BetUS moving forward for this show. And appreciate everybody that have seen the growth of this show and allowed us to get a sponsor like BetUS to sponsor us. So proud and happy days ahead. So it's all because of you guys, even the slapdick dick riders and the haters, because my haters are my biggest fans. I love you guys, and I'm actually looking for some new haters. My old ones are starting to like me. But BetUS, head on over there, betus.com, and we'll get you a promo code soon, but start checking out their site, getting through, looking at all their promo codes and everything that they offer, because they do offer some great sign-up bonuses, as this is a book. This is an offshore book. You can bet everything and anything. So we still got prize picks. We still got winnable as far as the DFS side of things. But BetUS, you can bet it all. Short, fat, skinny, and tall, as it is now a new proud sponsor of the Coach JB Show with Big Smitty. So shout out to everybody. Let's dive into the show, though, man. It's an interesting one after the firing of Robert Salah during the show yesterday. We got big Roddy White joining us. We had a little banter, back and forth, barbershop banter on social media. He agreed to come on the show. I respected it and appreciate the play. So we'll get Roddy White on the show and talk about his disagreement with me on Travis Hunter and my disagreement with him. And then we'll talk some real talk banter, and hopefully Roddy and I can bury the hatchet and have a grown man conversation, because disagreements create great conversations, and so too many youngsters can't understand that. They're quick to pull a pistol, quick to talk shit on Twitter, and quick to, do whatever else bitch-made cats do. So we'll dive into that with Roddy White. I'm interested to ask him a few things about quarterback play, what his Dirty Bird era was like compared to now, and his thoughts on Matt Ryan and the new transfer portal era. So we're going to dive into a lot of things with him. The Jets fired the least important man in the organization last night in Robert Salah. And now there's rumors stirring around that he had an Iran or an Israel patch or Iran patch or whatever. It's an election year. They had to fire him. I don't think Robert Salah is going to change the world when it comes to world politics. Okay, so let's not dive into that conspiracy. But they fired the least important man in the organization in Robert Salah. Make no mistake about it. He was a puppet who couldn't see the strings. Remember what I just said. He's a puppet who couldn't see the strings. Wait for my quote of the day. Nathaniel Hackett is horrible. And these players haven't performed up to par. Not even close. Robert Salah was fired back in the summer when he let Aaron Rodgers go to Egypt and then said what he said, and Aaron Rodgers got butthurt about thinking he threw him under the bus. Woody Johnson bought this team in 1968. I doubt many of you were born in this chat. I doubt anybody on TikTok was born then. 1968, Woody Johnson bought this team. What have they won? Crickets. Nothing. They fucking have won nothing. But yet what? Yet he keeps hiring new coaches. Not a fucking thing has this guy won. Yet it's always the coach's fault. They haven't had a legit QB since who? Chad Pennington? They draft Mark Sanchez, the Mormon MILF hunter. They get Brett Favre and Michael Vick to be doorstops. Then they go think they're going to get Aaron Rodgers to be the savior. I think I said it wasn't a good move and it was a bad nucleus waiting to happen 2 years ago when they made this decision on this show. But what do I know? Nathaniel Hackett continues to be employed this morning is the single most shocking thing of all this. I'm hearing, that Salah was firing Nathaniel Hackett. Then Aaron Rodgers calls in and says, hey, Woody, can't have Nathaniel go. He lets me run the offense. We got to make another move. And then he goes and fires Robert Salah. So did Robert Salah trying to fire Nathaniel Hackett backfire? This is a Hollywood script and a Hollywood movie in New York. They never got Hassan Reddick to play. They lose Jermaine Johnson, another great pass rusher. They can't stop the run. They don't run the football on offense and have been held hostage by Aaron Rodgers this entire time. Let's just keep it funky. Here's where it all went south for Robert Salah. And I'm going to tell you what people don't want to tell you in the mainstream media. He didn't demand Aaron Rodgers play in the preseason. I'm telling you, you can act like it's something very simple as that and look at me and say, oh, what do you mean, coach? I'm telling you, it went south when he did not demand Aaron Rodgers play in the preseason. Here's why. This showed me that he was truly over his head as a head coach. And when you see your quarterback, if you don't see your quarterback play after an injury against live competition, you have failed and you are over your head. Why? So that we can see and use our other assets accordingly based on how Aaron, our quarterback, at 40, recovering from an Achilles, can navigate the pocket. Can he drop back 30 times and throw the ball? How much do we need to rely on the run game this year on early downs? I need to see that in the preseason from Aaron Rodgers so I can get an assessment and an evaluation on how I'm going to navigate the season. But no, we go into the season lame duck with Aaron Rodgers not knowing anything and thinking that he's going to be the Aaron Rodgers of 30 years old. And he's going to drop back, run around, throw dimes on dimes after dime after dime. That's not it. Maybe if you play him in the preseason, now you say, oh, shit, man, Aaron's away. He's about 5 weeks away. We can't drop back 30 times with Aaron Rodgers. We see what he's doing against live ammunition. We got to run the football on first and second down, run play pass on second down, use more motion, and then maybe run some other things if Aaron isn't quite ready to drop back 30 times a game. But without seeing him or having him play at all, that was not possible. And by not demanding it, Aaron knew he had his head coach by the balls. And this season was a dumpster fire before it even began, as Aaron was sipping hermosas and fucking mimosas in Egypt. But what do I know? Let's dive into the show. 11-year NFL veteran, all-pro wide receiver Roddy White joins the show to debate Travis Hunter, plus talk some real talk banter, barbershop banter on the realest show on planet Earth. We'll talk about that. Our college and NFL coach, Noel Mazzoni, joins us, talks that chalk talk, eye in the sky don't lie segment, even though I'm doing it from home. And we'll talk to him about some college football over the weekend. And Coach Fred, HBCU legend at Alcorn State, will join us as well. We'll talk all things college football and NFL and you name it, short, fat, skinny, tall. We'll take some callers maybe. And we got a lot to break down today because, just so you know, PJ Fleck made Minnesota players drink an antidote of confidence capsule, which contained a Sprite apparently after losing to Michigan. And then Saturday, the Gophers upset USC. He said, be elite, row the boat. Jessica Campbell made her official debut as the first female coach in NHL history. But before we begin, my lovely calls for the last day of the week. Compton legend, Matthew Stafford defending, white quarterback loving, black quarterback hating, contrary to belief. Travis Hunter and Deion Sanders and Colorado hater. Coach JB, welcome along.
Without a doubt, it's Compton.
Like, share, comment.
Without a doubt.
All right, like, share, and comment. As you see, we got BetUS running all over the place. BetUS is a now proud new sponsor, and BetUS sponsors quote of the day. Let's get right to it. Quote of the day brought to you by BetUS. Head on over to BetUS. We're going to dive into it and get you the promo code here by tomorrow's show. Quote of the day, we're all puppets. I'm just a puppet who can see the strings. Remember, I told you when I was talking about this Jet team, we're all puppets. I'm just a puppet who can see the strings. That's real talk. I see the strings dangling. I know who's controlling it, and I know who's being controlled. I ain't that guy to be that guy because I don't kiss ass and suck dicks. I don't get scabs on my knees, and I also can see through the bullshit, contrary to your belief. Good judge of character, and I can see when someone's full of shit, who's lying to somebody, and who's using somebody to manipulate something. I see all that. How you guys don't blows my mind. I know we're all puppets. Trust me. We never own our real property. You just pay your property. You pay. I own it. No, you don't. You really don't. Even when you pay it off after 35 years and you pay double on interest, you still don't own it because they'll sell the property on your ass to the Chinese like this. Ask Montana, farmers. I'm just a puppet who can see the strings. Contrary to belief. Brought to you by Prize Picks. Head on over there. Use the promo code Coach JB. Your tongue used to get your teeth knocked out. Now it gets you insta-famous. Contrary to belief. How full circle we have become in this world. Your tongue used to talk and get your teeth knocked out. Now it gets you insta-famous. It's crazy. Contrary to belief. Poll question. Let's dive right into it. I tried to take calls yesterday, but you pussies won't call in. But you all talk that talk, but you never call in. Fucking unbelievable. All you do is talk. When do you motherfuckers actually do something? It blows my mind. And it's only the same people that want to call in. The ones that have some nuts and guts. All these motherfuckers all want to call, though. I'm going to call one day. I'm going to call, coach. Motherfucker, I drop the link all the time. Your motherfucking asses, scary asses, don't want to call. Fucking pussy, scary fucks, man. Holy shit. All bark, no bite. Just like you are on social media. But what do I know? Yeah, you got to be a member. Shit. You think I'm going to trust some slapdick to call in and talk and be stupid and say some dumb shit? No. Be a member, motherfucker. Prove to me that you're fucking somebody and not a nobody. Poll question. Who do the Jets hire? And do they hire somebody before the season? So Ulbricht's the head coach right now. He's the interim head coach, all right? He's the interim head coach. Played in the league, played for the Niners, played for several teams. Ulbricht used to have the mohawk, tattoo showing. If you remember who he was as a player, he played with blood dripping down his face. He's a true gladiator sport guy. The problem is you can't be that guy no more because these players are so pussy and enabled that they'll fight it, they'll call the owner, and they'll get you fired. That's the problem. So you can all talk about that shit. Oh, we need a change. We want a guy that's not going to read the crow and the eagle off the fucking cards. You could say all that you want. The bottom line is, though, there is no more Vrabels, Grudens, Parcells, Belichick's. There's only a few Tomlins left, Harbaughs, Andy Reid's. A new booty coming in, even though he was the D coordinator, you can't be like we used to be. These players will fucking cry. They're pussy. Just keep it real. They're all pussy. They don't want this. We got girls fucking coaching hockey now. What? And you want to talk about they're going to take coaching from a real man? No, it's not going to happen. So we're in a catch-22 scenario. All you out there that really want old school, nasty, gritty, fucking grease under the nails coaching is cool, but it ain't going to happen. And it's telling you by firing Robert Salah yesterday, an absolute nobody in the chain of command, and keeping Nathaniel Hackett blows my mind, but it should tell you where we are in society. We're all puppets, but Robert Salah couldn't see the strings. I see the strings. I see who's controlling us. I don't understand why you can't. This is the era of all-inclusive. Everyone has to be included. I can't wait for NHL hockey season to get to the playoffs where these guys grow, what do they call it, beard season, when they grow their beards out and shit, and it's ready to be a nasty fucking blue-collar hockey player. And this broad walks in with a skirt and, all right, guys, let's go. I just painted my nails, but let's get it going. It's beard season, guys. I know all about it. I know how it is to go 20 miles an hour on ice and bang you with 10 pounds of gear on. And I know how to get my teeth knocked out. And I know how to hit you with a puck at 100-mile-an-hour wrist shot and 110-mile-an-hour slap shot. I know all about it. Come on, guys. Let's go. I wouldn't be shocked if this broad walks in with a beard. I mean, so we're in the locker room, not to get off the Jets because I'm going to go back to the Jets, but we're in the locker room during the NHL playoffs, and I'm walking around my nuts out. And then she walks in. Oh, no. Oh, no. Man, I'm just telling you, dog. I don't understand. I don't get it. I hope that we can really see that there's a problem, Houston. There's a problem. I'm just telling you. Hold on a second. All Let me see. I think we got Roddy in the studio, but I'm not sure if he's ready to go or if he's just trying it out. I don't know. I think he left, so I think he was just checking it out. Roddy will be on in about 30 minutes. Yeah, I think he was probably trying it out, Bailey. I don't know. Yeah, I'll ask him. Yeah, I'll find out. I bet. I'll find out. But listen, this whole thing with the female coaching in hockey now is exactly why Robert Salah, it was a scapegoat in New York. Why Nathaniel Hackett is still there coaching to this day, and why Mina Kim tells you about cover 2, and why the agenda gets pushed as to why you should believe her. I'm sorry. I'm not listening. No offense. And I know, like, we got women in this chat that will come on this show, and they know some sports. But I'm not listening to a woman tell me about football. Sorry. I'll have a conversation with a girl that knows about football sitting on the couch and maybe, you know, getting some head or something. But it's not going to be a real in-depth conversation. Let's just keep it real. It's not going to be an in-depth conversation about fucking cover 2. Okay? I'm yet to see it. I've yet to see someone show me something that I've never learned before coming from that gender. And I'll be damned to listen to Mina Kim tell me about fucking cover 2. But a lot of you really sit there and act like you're learning something from her. It's fucking unbelievable. I don't understand. I was sitting here yesterday with 2 young ladies, 38 and 35. That's young. I'm just throwing that out there. This ain't no P. Diddy party. I was sitting here with 2 young ladies, and we were talking about this in particular, and they both said, why can't we stay in our lane? That's the first thing that came out their mouth while we were watching the fucking Padres beat the Dodgers again. Dave Roberts, you should be fucking castrated and fired. But anyway, let me calm down before I talk about my dull years. So they did say that, Joseph Caldwell. That's on my daughter and my dead daddy. They did say that why can't we stay in our lane? Why can't we do what we do? That's what these ladies said. They're like, who the fuck wants to coach these grown-ass men? And these are feminine ladies, real women. Why do we want to coach these grown-ass men? And they also said, why don't men try to come in and get into our world? They only do when they're gay. Let's be honest, right? Makeup. Men that are gay, feminine, go over and they're made-up humans. They go do makeup or whatever. Women, just understand something, man. Hockey and football are just the 2 furthest things from your wheelhouse. The 2 furthest things from your wheelhouse. Okay? Remember, you guys can call me sexist all you want, dog. There's not a sport. There's not one sport. Whoever said is Gino Auriemma gay because he coaches in women's basketball? Let's just be honest. There's not one sport that a man can't come over and coach and do better at than when a woman can do going the other way. I'm sorry. Gino Auriemma is the greatest women's basketball coach of all time. He's a man. Sorry. I hate to bring the truth out here today and tell you, but men can cross over and coach because we play those sports. We actually play those sports. So just throwing it out there. But you're going to tell me that a woman who doesn't play those sports is going to go over and cross over and play those sports and now coach it? That's how brainwashed y'all are. You are so fucking brainwashed, dog. You imagine me going over and coaching cheerleading today? Give me an A, give me a B, B, give me a C, C. What's that spell? I can't do it, y'all. Pound the like, man. Subscribe. Become a member. Holy fuck. Woo! What a show, man. Pound the like, man. We got a lot of going on today, man. Holy shit. Give me an M. Give me an A, A. What's that spell? Made up human. Let's dive into the show. Who do the Jets hire is the poll question. I didn't even get into it because of all this is going on. Ulbrich will not be the coach, okay? Let's just be real. Who do they go hire? Everyone's going to say it's Bill Belichick. It's Pete Carroll. It's going to be someone of magnitude of those. It's going to be fucking Vrabel. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. It's going to be Josh McDaniels. It's going to be Belichick hires Josh McDaniels, and they do what they did in New England to spite New England and blah, blah. It's AFC East. Listen, we can talk about all the fucking scenarios, okay? But the truth of the matter is, who wants to be the coach? Who wants to be the coach in New York and coach 40-year-old, injured, a shell of himself, Aaron Rodgers? Who wants to take on that role? That's the question. That's the question. And listen, I'm telling you, there is no more JBs. There is no more Belichicks. There is no more fucking Andy Reids. They'll hire the next Mike McDaniel, capri pant wearing. They'll hire a Cliff Kingsbury. They'll hire some young vape smoking guy that wants to be friends of a player instead of a coach. This is the generation that we're in. So it is what it is. Chris Ford, shout out to you and San Diego Sports and Jerry Ports and all you San Diego Padre fans. Dave Roberts should be absolutely castrated and fired today. Number one, Dave Roberts is the worst playoff manager in baseball fucking history. I'm just throwing it out there right now. He's the worst playoff manager in baseball history. But the Dodgers will win tonight and still win the series. Chris, you already know. Dodgers will win tonight, and they'll still win the series. So that's just me. They'll go back to Dodgers Town, L.A. Let me ask you guys something, though. I was very thrown for this. Why is this a 5-game series, Chris? When did they change that? You know, I don't watch baseball like that no more. I only watch it if it's the Dodgers in there in the World Series, to be honest. When did this fucking second round become a 5-game series? What the fuck are we doing with baseball? I know they all used to be 7, didn't they? Or the first round would be 5. Now they're 3, 5. How is this not a 7-game series? This shit is unbelievable. And you guys pay? Have you guys not figured it out? They're speeding up the game. You can't go to a game under $1,000 with a family, and then the game's 2 hours long and you're out of there already. Number one, then you're sitting in 3 hours traffic. You just spent $1,000 on hot dogs and a fucking beer. And then you got to watch a game that goes by like this. I'm in 7th inning stretch getting a hot dog, and the fucking game is already over. I go get a hot dog in the 1st inning. I get back. It's the 7th inning. I'm like, what the fuck happened to the game? I just spent $1,000. Now I got to go get in traffic and sit there in the parking lot so my kid can go out there and get a 1 fucking sign. Get the fuck out of here. Have you not figured out that it's you guys are the reason why they continue to increase prices, speed up the game, and now we're playing less games, but the players are making more money? So now the fans don't deserve a 7-game series between arch rivals San Diego Padres and the Dodgers? They don't deserve a 7-game series to go to the fucking NL pennant? The NL championship? Holy shit. Why don't y'all just play 1 game? The fans deserve better. But until you guys stop paying that money and go into this shit show, they're going to continue to fuck you. Next year, it'll be 1 game. The second round will be 3 games. And the World Series will be 5 games. Y'all will be like, oh, this is a great product. It's fucking unbelievable. T. Wick, I don't need to know about baseball, homie. Everything I just said, though, is fact. So, I don't need to know about baseball. I just told you everything that's actual factual. So, keep riding the dick rider. All right, let's dive into some things here real quick. Matt Rule is seen trying to explain how a team like Alabama can lose to Vanderbilt in this day and age. Let's hear what he has to say and compare it to what Coach JB says every day.
It's great. Again, it goes back to what I said all training camp of looking at the schedule before the season and saying what games are easy and what games are hard is not true, and it's not the way of college football anymore. Everyone's got to get that in. Like how many teams lost to teams that you would have never thought Alabama would ever lose to Vandy. You never would have thought maybe USC would lose to Minnesota. The portal, transfers, and it's changed all of it. That's why there's no undefeated NFL teams, right? So, it used to be that a player would say, man, I got offered from, whomever, Ohio State. I'm going there, But now he might get offered, I might get offered from Blue Mountain State, let's just say. And that's the top school in the country. And they're offering, hey, we'll give you, X amount of money. And another school that was 2 pegs lower on the pecking order of recruiting will say, hey, we'll give you 3 times that. Because for this guy, he's their 15th best recruit. But for them, they're like, well, we can't get those guys. Let's get him. So now that kid's like, do I go there for $50,000 or I do go there for $250,000? So all of a sudden so why were the great teams of the 90s and 2000s, 2010s, why were they so dominant? They stacked up all the talent. And when guys got hurt, the next guy came in was also a Parade All-American. Now the Parade All-Americans are all spreading out a little bit more. So it's just different. So
I said yesterday to start the show, the talent is no longer consistent with blue blood teams. It's coaching now. Now you have to actually coach, invest in the pieces of meat, which are the players that's in this meat market, that now you can't dangle a scholarship over their head anymore because they can leave. So now you have to truly invest, or we say piss or get off the pot. Shit or get off the pot. You now have to do the actual tangible work, unlike they used to just walk by after they signed you and act like they don't know you on campus. Now, guess what? You better kiss their ass. You better tell them what they need to know. Because I couldn't even imagine Power Memorial High School in New York. If you know who that is and know any history at all, that's where Lou Alcindor, before he became Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, was an unbelievable player. And he was going to play a player named Earl Manigault for a city championship in New York. Earl Manigault got suspended, did not play in the game. They got beat by Lou Alcindor. Lou Alcindor goes to UCLA, changes his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and the rest is history. We can argue is probably the best basketball player or most dominant one ever. Why did I say that? Do you imagine Lou Alcindor coming out of Power Memorial High School now and going to UCLA year 1? And where does he go year 2? Where does he go year 3? Where does he go year 4? Imagine what we would have had. You probably wouldn't have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's what y'all don't really look at and think about. Y'all wouldn't even have had probably Michael Jordan. You definitely wouldn't have got Kobe Bryant. You would have never seen some of these guys. You would have hopped from school to school, got different philosophy, different coaching, never knew what would happen. You probably would have ran into a coach that told you something you didn't like. You would have maybe hit him or assaulted him and got fan for life, never played. Who knows? You know how many shippers like Isaiah Ryder, KG, all these guys would have possibly done. Latrell Sprewell, all these fiery guys that got into it with their head coach in the NBA. You imagine them in college with NIL? T-Mac probably goes to college. Kobe probably goes to college. LeBron probably goes to college. They probably get $5-10 million a year in college. You don't want to think about that, though. You probably don't have what we have today. I'm just telling you right now. But listen, Matt Rule didn't say anything that was rocket scientific. This is what I've been telling you. It's watered down. And he just said it's watered down in front of your very eyes. You'll still sit there and say, it's not watered down, JB. He just told you it's watered down, but it is what it is. Football's watered down, dog. I mean, I don't know how much, whatever you want to call it. Parody? No, it's parody. It's not parity, okay? It's not. This is watered down sport, watered down football. It is what it is. If you don't think it is, then you're really delusional. I'm just telling you right now, you're really fucking delusional. But what do I know? Can't wait to get Smitty back tomorrow. He's already defending the female hockey coach. Of course, you know he is. DEI hire, defending DEI hire. Can't wait to tell him that tomorrow. See if we can do it live in the studio. We'll see. We'll see if we can. Hopefully we can. I just choke his ass out when he says some dumb shit. Let's dive into this party. Let's get this thing going. Jessica Campbell, the girl that Smitty's talking about on Twitter. Bailey, you should be ashamed of yourself. You got explaining to do, Lucy. You got explaining to do, Lucy. Bailey, I don't even know if you know what that show is from, but she's a coach for the Seattle Kraken, Bailey's hometown. Bailey, you should be ashamed of your town. Can't control it. I mean, we already know Seattle is what it is. Portland's even worse. Listen, man. I beat this dead horse. There's nothing really to say anymore. It's a fucking shame. It is what it is. It's like, listen, I'll be the only guy on planet Earth to talk about this female coaching grown men. And I know half of the women out there will defend her. The other half, that are real ones, the real ones will say, you know what? The real women will say, you're right, JB. Until the real women come out and start defending boys playing girls in their specific sport, such as San Jose State, Wyoming, and some others, when they refuse to play Boise State in volleyball, women's volleyball, because they had a 6'3" man. They had a 6'3" man playing for them. It's going to take a lot more, and it's going to take everybody to say enough is enough. Where are all the dads of these beautiful young women at that are playing sports that they worked their entire lives off and busted their asses for to play in a sport that's theirs? To allow a man to come in and dominate it, such as Leah Thomas with a flipper foot, with a size 15 flipper, and then go and dominate my daughter's sport. It's like the women that bitch and moan at men not supporting the WNBA, but they don't even show up to the WNBA games themselves. But it's always the man's fault. Until the women say enough is enough, then you're going to continue to have this. You're going to have this. Is there any hockey guys in the chat? Seriously, is there any hockey guys in here at all? I would like to ask you guys a simple question. What can she teach you? Baby girl, what can she teach a man in hockey? Can anybody please let me know? Can she teach me how to cross-check? No, I'm being dead serious. I want to know. What can she teach me? What can she really teach me in hockey? Men's hockey. Remember, that's what she's coaching. I really just have a simple question, man. I just have to ask you that question. What can she teach you in hockey? Yeah, Chris, listen, we're not going to get to her attire. Lucky she don't have no big old titties and her cleavage is out, because that would be a whole nother ball game. But, like, let's be honest. Like, put a polo on if you're going to be out there. Like, I'm just telling you, dog. We're gonna open up Pandora's box here. Fuck. I'll be the hated one. We'll do a video on this. We'll do a short. You don't even want to see my Magic Johnson short video. Oh, shit. You don't want to see my Magic Johnson video that's going to go viral today. Oh, I'm going to get hated on. But I'm here for it. God damn, I'm going to lose some people today. I'm going to tell you right now. She can't teach you anything. She can't teach you anything. That's not, to me, I don't know what she's wearing. I really don't. Listen, it's a mockery, man. It's a fucking mockery. It's a joke. I'm just being honest. The only thing I like about her attire and her how she looks is she's decent looking and she looks good and she dresses feminine. At least she's not one of these NFL coaches. Have you seen these NFL coaches? Bailey, can you pull up a few of these women NFL coaches? Have you seen the NFL coach women? I mean, it's not a secret. It's not a fucking secret that they're fucking Butch Dyke, carpet munchers, short ass hair, built like this. It's not like this. See, if this female was coaching fucking NFL, then I would say, you know what? She must have some sort of tie to the game. But when I see what I see, I know it's an inclusion, equitable, DEI bullshit. I'm be honest. At least this lady's walking the walk. She looks like she's feminine. She actually, you know, she actually looks like a lady, like a real lady. So I don't know. I give her that, but that's my point to the ladies I was watching the game with yesterday. Sit here and say, why does she want to coach grown ass, hairy, nasty, physical men? That's coming from two feminine ladies, people. Just throwing it out there. It's coming from two feminine ladies. Why would she want to coach these grown-ass, sweaty, hairy, smelly men? Hit each other all damn day. Why would she want to do that? I don't know. We don't know. We don't know why. We don't know why to this day. I have no clue. Let's dive into this again. This all ties in together, so I'm glad Bailey has it this way. High school football player runs into the stands and punches a teammate's father. All right, I want you to see this.
Postgame fight at Citronelle has led to criminal charges and one player being removed from the Wildcats football program.
Shout out to Simone. That's my homegirl right there. Real shit, it really is. Simone is a good friend of mine. Her husband's a actual legendary high school coach down there. Known them for a very long time. Shout out. They had their first kid about a year and a half ago. So Simone, it does a great job actually covering the high school level football. That's what she covers. Her husband's a high school football coach. So I've known Simone a very long time. Shout out to her.
This post-game video following Citronelle's win over UMS Wright on Friday shows an altercation in the stands between Wildcat football parents. Chris Edmonds is seen running towards Stephen Bird before punching him 3 times. Edmonds is the father of Citronelle quarterback Dalen Edmonds, who is seen just moments later, you'll see it here on the left-hand side, running up to Bird and punching him as well. He's still wearing his number 7 jersey and his shoulder pads. Bird's son also plays on the team. Chris Edmonds tells me that his son Dalen was told this morning that he's suspended from school for a week and no longer a member of the Wildcats football team.
Yeah, Chris dropped it in the chat. I wasn't going to say her husband's name, but her husband is a legendary coach down there. Coach Sessions, Bart Sessions, by the way, is the name of her husband. But yeah, she's been covering football for a long time. Listen, man. Have we not seen an uprise and uptick in this type of behavior? Don't forget about this woman coaching hockey, okay? Just keep that in the back burner. Have we not seen an uptick in this behavior? University of Georgia, underneath a guy that's won 2 national titles in Kirby Smart, having all kind of problems with his players right now. We got players pulling hypothetical guns out on the field. We have what? Uptick in this behavior. Let's just be real. The youth level is unbelievable, uncontrollable. 7-on-7. The 7-on-7 world has ruined football, in my opinion. The street agent and trainer, and then you have females coaching these sports, and you think it's supposed to get better? Sarah, stop the fight! Go out there and stop 150 dudes from punching each other with the helmets on, Sarah. Sarah, go grab that hockey stick and that puck, and you tell that motherfucker he better take his ass to the fucking showers. Oh. And you motherfuckers are sitting there like, it's going to get better, coach. It's going to get better. Stop being such a hater. How's it going to get better, homie? Tell me. Holy shit, man. First of all, the 2 parents are probably absolute shitbirds, number 1. Number 2, they've been talking shit in the crowd for how long? All year long. They talk about my son Johnny's playing time, how the coach don't run the right offense, how we don't run the right defense. They've also been the same parents doing that since little Johnny played youth football in the same crowds. So they're talking about the same shit. These helicopter parents, first of all, are the worst, number 1. Number 2, they've been in the crowd talking about each other's kids now, which escalated to that fight. That's what happened. I don't need to dive into a deep dive. That's what just happened. You saw it. The player has no real fucking guidance, and these motherfuckers ain't telling him nothing. His daddy won't beat his ass when he gets to the house, and the head coach is kissing his ass, too busy kissing his ass so he don't transfer. So now is what you have. You have player empowerment to the nth degree, and now guess what? Block this fucking idiot right here. God damn. So that's where we are. That's what happened, and that is what is going on. There is no deep dive that needs to occur. So I'm just telling you. You see what happened now? Okay, cool. Then you throw a woman involved. Now a woman's coaching it, and we expect it to get better. Got it. Makes perfect sense. Deion Sanders calls out Colorado State quarterback Braden Fowler-Nicolosi and wide receiver Torrey Horton in the NCAA. saying, how were you offered $600K and didn't get in the portal? I'm sure Matt's going to break this down later on his show with Bailey. Let's take a listen and ask our man Roddy White when he comes on about this.
It needs to be a rule NCAA-wise to, if that's your course of action, they should let them go and start their next journey with the whatever team that is that they've already been talking to, because they've already been talking. Just like the two guys from that we played several weeks ago, Colorado State. They said they were offered how much in the portal? 600. How are you offered 600 and you didn't get in the portal? Why can none of y'all ask that question? How are you offered 600,000 but you didn't get in the portal? I got time today.
Listen, contrary to belief, I know for a fact from some other buddies of mine that are coaching at that big time level that they've had players offer money and not go. Genty was offered a lot of money at Boise. He didn't go. So, sorry to be the truth teller here, but Deion Sanders, I don't know if he understands that coaching and cultural philosophy and program building is still happening. It's happening at Clemson. It's happening at Nebraska, who beat Colorado. It's happening at some other places. Do I agree with Deion? And this is the new mercenary space and business? Sure. And Deion's doing what he thinks is right to keep up with the Joneses. I'm not knocking it at all. But contrary to his belief, there are players that are staying at certain places and they've been offered more money to go elsewhere. I'm just telling you. Matt brought this up, months ago on this show about these kids being offered $600K. I defended Norvell at the time because Norvell is a guy that a lot of players like. So I'm like, well, if they got offered $600K, number one, I'm sure Norvell and Colorado State came up with some sort of monetization to pay them. Whether it was $600K or not, who knows? But they paid them something. And then there's a meet me in the middle type of relationship that's going on amongst other programs. And I don't want to leave. I'm going to stay. It's really not that hard. If you have a it factor as a coach and your players believe and they think you're doing something or trying to, but there is no more tampering though, Bailey. All you guys in the chat, stop talking about tampering. There's no more tampering. Tampering stopped when we are in shake lines after games and Texas and Sark's telling me that the opposing team is in the shake line trying to get players' numbers to transfer right now after the game. If that's being allowed, then what are we talking about right here? Come on, man. There's no more tampering. I'm just telling you, there's no more tampering. And it is what it is. There's no more tampering. It's all bullshit. The NCAA has wiped their hands clean. I'm trying to tell you guys. I said it yesterday. They've wiped themselves clean. No, I think you missed the point, John Jacobs. I think you have missed the point. The NCAA has failed. Period. I think to Deion's point. And I think he understands that there's no more discussion to be had, which is my point. There's no reason to even bring it up. We all know the NCAA, the non-caring assholes of America, have failed the landscape of things. There is no more reason to bring it up, which is why I disagree with what Deion's even talking about, because there's no more reason. We already know what Deion's talking about to be true. So, listen, it's a mockery. It's a joke. And until there are some sort of repercussion saying you need to pay this money back, you don't get all this money up front, or XYZ is not met, you don't either A, get the money, or B, pay it back. Period. It's all a joke. At this point, it's just a free-for-all, wild, wild west. Whatever happens, happens. Period. That's all that's really where we're at. And until we figure that out, it's a moot point to even talk about this continuously. I'm just telling you. That's just my opinion on this. But, it is what it is. I want to dive into something real quick before we take a commercial break. Roddy White joins on the other side. And I'm going to dive into this with Noel Mazzoni later on. Rumors are now that Robert Salah was physically, from what I got wind of, physically escorted out of the building in New York yesterday. No one knows why. Was there an altercation? Was Robert pissed off? Did he think he got backstabbed by Nathaniel Hackett? Did he get backstabbed by Albrecht, who he hired? Did he get backstabbed by Aaron Rodgers? Did Aaron Rodgers call Woody and say, don't fire Nathaniel Hackett because I can't run the offense, blah, blah, blah? I'm curious, but why would you fire Adam Gase, who was a fucking shit show, and let him address his team when he was fired, but not let Robert Salah address the team when he was fired? I'd be pretty pissed off too. I'd be pretty pissed off if I'm Robert Salah. I don't know what happened, but apparently there was something going on, and Robert Salah was let out of the building by security. That is a telltale sign of ownership, leadership, and what's going on there in New York. I'm just telling you, it is not a good thing. 1,300 people in here right now on YouTube. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. We'll be back on the other side with NFL 11-year veteran wide receiver and a former Dirty Bird Atlanta Falcon, Roddy White, to discuss all things real. Pound that like, and we'll see you on the other side with Roddy White, and give us 4 minutes. Peace. Mina Kim has come out and said yesterday, I don't know if we have a video on this, Bailey, or not. I should have asked you, but Bailey does have the tweet, and it says, do we have the video, Bailey? Can we get the video so everyone knows what she's saying? My bad, Bailey. I put Bailey in a bad spot on that one. We should have had the video because this wasn't a discussion, but I wanted to bring it up.
Bad coaching. Bad coaching.
We're going to bring it up with Noel, though, on the big board. So I want to give everybody some context that doesn't know that Mina basically came out. All right. Bailey's going to find the video. And I basically came out and said that they're making quarterbacks check the ball down because of all the too high safeties that was being played. And it's at an all-time high. We've never seen this much too high. I mean, dog, I can't do it much longer. I'm just going to be real with you. I can't do it. I tagged Dan Orlovsky because I'm tired of dealing with him. Take a listen to a video.
I think there are a couple things, Laura, that stand out. One, you got a lot of rookie quarterbacks playing, and historically, rookie quarterbacks have always struggled out the gate. I think a couple of those guys that you mentioned have been struggling for a while. Deshaun Watson, Bryce Young, Kirk Cousins, obviously, with the injury. But another thing I think that's pretty significant is the way defenses are playing offenses, which is to say, basically daring them to either run the ball or check it down. In fact, in week 1, defenses played with light boxes against the run at the highest rate since NGS started tracking the data 8 years ago. They played too high shell coverage at the highest rate since NGS by a pretty dramatic margin. And because of that, you'll see here, the average depth of target for quarterbacks was the lowest it's been in years. Not just the lowest, though. It's been trending down for a while. Took a sharp turn. I mean, we're talking about a full yard down since 2019. So essentially, defenses are making quarterbacks into a bunch of check down artists.
Based upon, because this is my first time seeing the video, based upon what she said, it sound I know enough about her to know she's very, like, she goes based upon stats and like
what the teleprompter says.
No.
Be honest.
This ain't no teleprompter read.
Yeah, it is.
No, this is not.
She's definitely reading. Look at her.
This ain't a teleprompter read.
She's reading.
This is from her researcher.
No.
Let me break it down to you. Every talent has a researcher for themselves.
I know.
They go in, they let you know what the topic's going to be for that day of the show. They ask the talent what's their just overall opinion on said topic, and then the researcher feeds them with enough information to back up whatever they're trying to do. So Mina probably went in and said, I feel like these QBs are they're not throwing the same amount of yards that they've done in the past. Give me as much information you can give me to back up that point. And they gave her actual probably numbers and stats that backed up the fact that last week they played that defense at a higher percentage than they've done in a while. That's how I'm reading it. I don't think she's saying that they've never played cover 2 shell. That's never no. I'm reading that like she's saying, based upon actual literal statistics and numbers, this is what the data is telling me. I just want to start there, but go ahead.
Listen, Smitty works at Fox. He knows how this thing works. He knows the inner workings of this thing.
And you do. I mean, you've been around. So
but that doesn't mean what she said is fact. Bottom line is she's a statistical nightmare. She's living off teleprompters that her boss. And I'm going to say what Smitty just said and call it her boss. What I mean by her boss means whoever's giving her the information to read is all she does. That's all she does. She literally, I don't know. Listen, I might come off and sound crazy here, but I'm going to be honest. Has anyone ever gone to the clinic? Coaches, have you guys gone to the AFCA?
I know who you're talking about.
Have you guys all gone to the AFCA clinic or the Glacier clinic and went out and sought out the fucking Asian female to talk to her about coverage, quarters, and cover 2? Has anyone in this chat, any coaches out there, have you guys sought out? Have you guys gone after the small Asian girl? That can I go find the small Asian girl to break down cover 2 for me? Coach Davis, have you ever done that? I'm asking a question, dog. I'm asking a question. No, I'm just saying. No hate. I'm just throwing a question out there. I haven't seen it. I've never seen it. I've never seen going out and asking the girl at the clinic about quarters coverage. But anyway, listen. Having said that, she literally just came on ESPN and on a huge network, and they allowed her to say what she said. And look at my tweet there. God damn. Can someone please shut this up? She is embarrassing to listen to. Mina, you know nothing. You are repeating data from your boss's teleprompter, as Smitty just eloquently said. 2 high safeties have been around far before you, Mina, and far after this stupid-ass take. All right. We are back. We got over 3,500 people in here total overall looking at this between social media and here on YouTube. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. We appreciate you all. Proud new sponsor of the show is BetUS, and it is Chalk Talk Wednesday. We'll get Eye in the Sky, Don't Lie, as Noel Mazzoni joins us later on. We're going to break down some NFL film. But right now, we got a former NFL legend, 11-year veteran, Dirty Bird himself, Atlanta Falcon. Great. Used to watch him and like watching him a lot. He played the game how it was supposed to be played back in the day. Our main man, Roddy White. What up, brother?
Man, what's happening, JB?
Man, chilling, man. I appreciate you jumping on here, man.
No doubt.
I wish Sean King was here. He wanted to. Sean King, play for the Bucks forever, and he was like, he wanted to tell you, like, man, stop, man, stay tuned with us. We gonna keep it real. So Sean King.
No, man. I just listened to your take about Mina, man. I was just dying laughing, though.
Mina Khan, dog. Hey, am I? Listen, I know the youngsters call it cap now or whatever. We do a little segment, fact or cap. Was I capping or not?
Nah, man. Everybody want to make an excuse, man. You know they can make up numbers to make up anything, man. You can put anything. you could bring up statistics to make things look exactly what you want it to look like. And then you just comment and make ridiculous takes on it. And you just go out there and just people that's naive that don't actually play or watch the game or break down film, they're not going to know what she's saying is right or wrong. They're going to go out there and be like, well, Mina said that they're playing too many cover two. And you like, so what? Like that doesn't affect the outcome of a game. Everybody knows. Every quarterback had go in the NFL. Every quarterback going to the line of scrimmage with 2 plays anyway. So you check and run or pass based on what they're doing anyway.
You think that's still true? You think they're still doing it? I'm looking at it like I got Noel Mazzoni on next after you. He coached in the league, coached Brett Favre, the Jets, coached Phillip Rivers, coached college everywhere from Manziel to you name it. He's coached it. We're kind of saying they're dumbing it down now because we're teaching a more athletic quarterback than we've ever seen, but yet we're teaching them and dumbing the game down for them so they could be more athletic, but it's actually hurt the position. I don't see a lot of check with me's at the line no more. Even from Lamar Jackson on to Kyler Murray, it seems like
they're not doing it. They're not doing it because I'm gonna tell you why. Because they're not getting those boxes. Like you can't play a quarters high, too high look against Lamar Jackson. You just don't have enough defenders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To even cover the play. So if you come in there in a too high safety look, that means everybody got to be gap sound, which means you got no backside defenders. Or if you do, it's a one-on-one with Lamar Jackson, which means at the end of the day, 8 out of 10 times, he going to make that guy miss. So you're going to give up an explosive play? You're not going to do that. You're going to play a single high safety look and make the wide receivers beat you on the outside, which you don't believe that they can. You know what I'm saying? And
or they don't think their quarterback's good enough to beat their corner. I mean, that's what they say, right? When you play man press, you're saying I'm better than your quarterback, not the other way around. I'm not better than Roddy White. I can't stop Roddy White as the corner, but I'm better than the quarterback who's going to get the ball to Roddy over me. That's what they say when they press and do that type of thing. I don't think the average fan understands that, but
no, they don't. Because when you look at the game, right, and I always tell people that it's going to be ins and outs of the game. When you game planning, you know exactly what the base defense is. From a statistical point, you know tendencies, you know percentages. Like going into the game, you know exactly what you're going to get. Certain down the distances, 1st and 10, where we at on the field. You know exactly what coverages you're getting from this particular coordinator, right? Unless you have a quarterback that's athletic and can get out of the pocket and can do just certain things. Now you're going to get more spy looks. You're going to get more single high boxes. You might get a little bit more zone so that if he does pass it, he has to read it out and things like that. You want to put him in positions that he's not used to being in, right? So most of the time when people looking at a game, if you watch Kirk Cousins, they're going to play a lot of too high quarters look, right, for him because he's not a threat to run the ball. You know, he's just going to sit back there. And you want as many people as coverage to stop him from throwing the ball. You know what I'm saying? But if you got somebody like Lamar Jackson, if you can play a quarters look, he's going to run for 150 yards a day. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even do that, you know? And that's the stress that he puts on the defense because you got to use all 11 defenders to defend him. It ain't a few guy.
No doubt. Listen, man, I gotta ask you this question. I've had one of your I don't know if it's your boy or if it was your boy, Brian Finneran was on my show, and he a fan. We talk, but I heard a story, man, that a lot of folks may not know. Did he really bet you that you wouldn't play in the league 10 years or more?
Oh yeah.
Now, did you take it as a slight or as a motivating tactic? Is that how he?
I'm gonna give you an interesting story. Like Brian Finneran is one of my good friends now, and one of my best friends now. But when I first got to the Falcons, we were not cool at all. Right? We were not cool at all. Like we bumped heads every day, like cussing each other out. You know what I'm saying? And like him telling me like because when I first got to Atlanta, I'm not gonna lie, I was enjoying my time. I was enjoying the city. So football, I ain't gonna lie. Football was my second job. Like running around and having fun in the streets was my first job. You know what I'm saying? So I was having too much fun, but I didn't understand like these were grown men, and they were paying bills based off what I'm going out there and us winning and him being able to go out there and make plays too. So he needed me at my best. But at that time, I didn't understand that. You know, I'm young, I'm getting acclimated. You know, I don't really know the rules. And now, you know, back in the day, the locker room was littered with 30-year-olds. It was a much more mature locker room.
Intimate setting too, like more of a
more of a together setting. So I'm like, I'm new. I just want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you're 22 years old, it's a whole
Atlanta titty bars at that time too.
You know what I'm saying? So it was a different look for me, and I just wasn't on his page. You know, from an aspect. So we would be in meeting. He would be like, "Dude, you ain't gonna be here but 3 years." I'm like, "Man, get the fuck out of here!" Like, and we would go back and forth. He was like, "The trajectory you on." I was like, "I'm gonna be here longer than you." Matter of fact, I'm gonna be the one to get you up out of here.
It's barbershop banter. Barbershop. Yeah.
Like, these were the conversations. Like early on in my career, I was like,
and I would bet you that was at every locker room in the NFL at that time.
Every locker room in the NFL.
Yeah. Now you do that shit now, and motherfuckers get their butt hurt. I call it the jersey swap era. I get we would want a jersey, but it was from Tom Brady or Matt Bryant. But after the year, right? Like I gotta get this for my thing. Nowadays, it's right after I get my ass whooped. Can I get your jersey and shit? Back in the day, we were talking shit to those guys like, fuck that, I'm gonna beat your ass. I just don't get it. It's a different world. But yeah, Finnerman told me a story, and I was like, he was like, man, I knew how good he was, and he was way more talented than me, so I had to talk shit to get under his skin. But shit, me growing up in Compton, only white boy with all brothers that were I had to do whatever I did too. This white man can't jump around this motherfucker. That's what it was. I'm in the hood playing hoop with all these NBA cats and NFL. Shit, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. And you get respect earns, respect given. That's just how I think it works out. Now it's not though. Now motherfuckers now you soft, you too hard on me. It's crazy, man. I see your posts and shit, and I'll be like, man, I know we think alike too much, but it's like, so look, let's dive into this real quick before the Travis Hunter, Richard Sherman took, who you've cooked before on the football field. I coached Richard and his brother actually in Compton, but he came out and called him like a lack of blending his talent skills going to the next level. And I said something similar, and I hit Richard up, and I was like, I kind of agree. I want to see what side of the ball he goes to. I think you and I both agree. He'll get some packages in the NFL, but he ain't going to play 140 snaps in the NFL, both sides of the football.
No, because
go ahead. But my point was just like, I don't see where he is elite. Where's he going to go and go be elite at what side of the football? I think he's too light in the ass at corner, but then I do agree with what you say. You don't really hit anymore anyway on defense, so can he just cover all day long against a bigger body guy, though? Because I've seen him play bigger body guys in college so far. Arizona last year, the Stanford kid, and didn't look the greatest. So I'm trying to see what he's going to transition to in the NFL. I just don't see – I got to see what side of the football he's going to play. That's my only take. And I was like, I don't know, being a personnel guy, where he stands out. Now, that was a little different than what Richard said, and I know you went in there and was like, hell no, because of how great he is now. I get it. He's the greatest football player maybe we've ever seen in college. I think he's by far the greatest college football player now. But is he like, does he transition? Because we've seen the Reggie Bushes. We've seen a lot of those guys. I don't know. What's your take?
Well, my take is whether he get drafted, whether it's cornerback or wide receiver, anybody that drafts him is going to tell him, you're only doing this. You only doing that. It's not going to be him going out there playing 120 snaps in the league. That's just not going to happen. And if I'm him, why would I want to do that? Because they ain't going to pay you to do that anyway. They're not going to give you extra money to go out.
Yeah, this ain't Ohtani.
Yeah, this ain't baseball. You know what I'm saying? This football. You're not going to get paid no extra money to go out there and play wide receiver snaps if they draft you at corner. They're just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So why would you even put that pressure on yourself to do that? So if he declares as a wideout, right, and he strictly just does wide receiver stuff, right, and he just strictly a wideout, I don't think it's too many people, once he gets the ball in his hand, can actually tackle him. I think he's a guy that will be able to make people miss, right? I don't know how great he is off of press, but that's something that you could work on and be better at, in the league. But he's explosive, and his jumping ability is off the chains. He's gonna be a guy that literally at the combine, he'll probably run low 4.4s or high 4.3s. He's gonna have a 40-inch vertical, and he's 6'1", 6'2", whatever he is. Like, that's equivalent to probably 10%, 15% of wideouts that come into the league that can do that. You know what I'm saying? And we all know his ball catching ability and his hands and stuff like that. That's all natural. You don't have to teach. You don't have to teach that. Now you just telling me you got to teach him how to route run. That could be taught over summers of him just recognizing and just being out there each and every week. You know what I'm saying? And he'll get better at that. Now,
Go ahead.
Now, if he get drafted at corner, that's a whole nother situation. I mean, that guy's ball skills is unbelievable. And of course, he's going to struggle with the bigger guys in college because he's playing 120 snaps. But I wanted one time for Deion just to actually, when he plays against Arizona or he plays against Stanford, to be like, hey, you only playing corner today.
Yeah.
You need to lock on him so we can win the game.
Not only that, that solidifies your place in the draft.
Exactly.
So that's my point. Like, maybe put him over there. Like, treat him as an NFL game. That's what I've been asking Deion from Deion. And I got Matt on my show and my producer Bailey, who runs it with him. And I'm like, ask Deion to just play that dude on one side of the football in one of those games, and then package him on the other side as the NFL team would do. So let's throw him.
My biggest thing is I know he's really good on offense, but they have other explosive guys that are just as explosive as him, or might be even more explosive than him, that they could put out there that could replace that type of production. Now, what they can't replace is him going out there and going after that dude from Arizona who's going to be a top 10 pick and say, you only going to catch 1 or 2 passes today because I'm going to guard you from sideline to sideline. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a different level of thing that he can bring out, and he can make that Colorado team a lot better and put them in a position to actually beat better teams like that. But if you just out there just trying to guard a guy playing 120 plays, you ain't guard no top 10 pick in no full quarter game playing 120 plays. That's not happening.
You're the perfect guy to ask this too, though. I got to ask you, though. He's playing against some, no offense, he probably played a backup white boy corner as a walk-on in college. The backup wideout when the starter get hurt is probably a guy that's not very good. In the league, it's 53-man roster, and all of them were Division I All-Americans for the most
best
part.
of the best.
So how is he doing that at the next level and guard the backup? You know, the backup corner come in and he's at wideout and he's just as good as the starter. In college, he's cooking the backup all day long in Colorado State or fucking Arizona or one of the. They're not the NFL's different, and that's kind of my mindset when I said it. I'm like, he's going to go against another All-American, in essence, in college every snap in the NFL, whether he's at wideout or corner. He got to go against another wide. So it goes from Ayuk to Debo or from Debo to moving Kittle out. Like, that's my whole point about it. That's just the only part that I'm trying to figure out and ask you how he transitions to that part.
That's not he can't play both ways, JB. That's not
no. I'm just saying, like, when let's say he's just at corner.
Okay.
And the backup wideout come in and it's another freak. It ain't like college where it's just an average Joe and he gonna press his ass up, jump the flat and pick it. He got to go against a Roddy White, then Cordell Patterson, and then he got to go against a Finneran, and then he got to go into Thielen, and then he's got a Diggs.
Yeah.
Like, there's no time off. I'm saying.
No. Ain't no time off in the league. They don't even give you time off in the league. But I think a guy like that that's so athletic and ball skills is like that. I mean, he don't have to sit up there and press people all day. He can play off. He could read. He could route read. You know, he has to be smart. He has to be watching film. He has a real knack for the game. What's coming?
He got that Ray Lewis in him.
Yeah.
Ball hawk, right?
Oh yeah.
And Reed,
what's coming at him and stuff like that. So I think he'll be successful at cornerback, and I really think somebody is going to draft him to be a cornerback because in the league today, man, you don't need as many skill position wide receivers because there's so many of them. You know what I'm saying? And we're alternating at an all-time high because of analytics and nothing like that. Nowadays, these guys ain't even playing 60 plays no more.
Nah.
They're like in a 45 play range, you know, per game.
You guys used to get 80, 90 snaps.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wait.
That shit's crazy to me. I don't understand what's happened, man. I got to transition to a guy that I've always thought was very underrated, and I thought got way more slack than he deserved. And your quarterback, Matt Ryan. Where does he not rank, but what's your thoughts? What's your feelings towards him and how he was as a ball spinner and how he got you guys the ball and how he navigated the offense and how good was he really? I thought if he was playing right now, he's probably going to be a top 5 guy as far as how bad quarterback play is right now. I don't think it was his fault in that Super Bowl that he gets the blame for. Like, I look at all this shit. I think he was a really underrated guy. Where are you at with Matt? And I know he was your guy, but where are you at with him as far as ranking him now compared to these guys and what he was during that era with Breeze and Manning and all those guys?
Okay, right now, he'd be top 5 easy right now.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, Matt really, like, when he came into the league, Matt was the first quarterback to throw for 20,000, 40,000, like he was the very first guy to reach all these plateaus throughout his career. You know, granted, he had a lot of talented guys around him, but that dude worked as hard as anybody I've ever seen in my fucking life, JB.
Really?
Like when they talk about like quarterback, like actually checking in first, being the first guy there, working out, watching film, conducting meetings, like all that. Like he had so much on his plate so early on as a young guy, like because we did a lot of no huddle stuff and calling plays at the line of scrimmage. Man, Matt, his rookie year was literally calling plays at the line of scrimmage because Mike Mularkey did not know what to call. And like we would sit down and have meetings, right? And we be in Friday meeting, and he'd be like, Roddy, I'm sick of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. I gotta fucking run the 2-minute offense. I gotta run the no huddle offense. I'm getting no fucking help out here. And I'm like, that's why they pay you the big bucks. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine what he be paid now.
Oh my God.
If Kirk Cousins got what he getting, I don't think he's even close to Matty Ice in my opinion. And Kirk's pretty decent, but
yeah, but man, Matt was like, man, he was a wizard out there, man. I mean, you couldn't really trick him. Like, you couldn't really trick him from his hard work and dedication that he put in throughout the week. You know what I'm saying? And at that time, we were playing like Tampa, which was like Tampa with a bunch of good defensive guys. They were fast. They were athletic. You know, they loved to play that 2 high safety lift. Man, Matt was the epitome of like the intermediate passing game. We knew we were going to come out of the game throwing that at a 75 to 80% clip. No doubt about it. Like every week. That's why his completion percentage was 68, 70% every season. Matt was going to come out of the game throwing curls, digs, comebacks, anything, any read route, any option routes over the middle. He ain't.
You're saying some shit that I don't think they understand out here in the chat and other people don't grasp. Nowadays, they're 70%, and it's fucking bubble screen, smoke screen, lateral this, lateral that. You just said dig, post, option route, read coverage. We don't throw the teeth of the defense no more, man. Not even Patrick Mahomes and them do it. It's all dink and dunk, system guys.
Yeah, man, he was at a 75, 80% clip coming out of games, you know, doing that. You know what I'm saying? And that was like, I've never seen a guy so accurate in the intermediate passing game. You know what I'm saying? Than him, like bang eights, like hitting back step, boom, putting the ball on you, 22 yards, boom, right there, right between, like all that stuff, man. He was so good at all that stuff. It made it easier for us because we stayed ahead of the chains, and it was just completion after completion after completion. You know what I'm saying? And we created explosives off of that because we would break tackles, and now you got explosive plays. But man, Matt would, I mean, to me, he's a top 10 quarterback of all time. You know,
and then you go from Matt, and then you get a glimpse of Michael Vick, right?
Yeah, I had Mike early on.
and you had Mike early on, and what was that? The ball just spin different. It's a left-handed ball coming off, number one. Plus, he had an arm that a lot of us never seen before, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Where was Mike at as far as just being compared to now, like a Lamar? And he's one of the most, I don't know. Vic to me was different. I don't know.
I ain't gonna lie, JB. A lot of times when I play with Mike, you catch yourself like watching the game. Like you could catch yourself like watching him in the game. Like that's how special he was like on the field. You know what I'm saying? So we would be in games and you blocking backside, but you watching him like do ridiculous shit on the front side. You know what I'm saying? And like he'll end up like running back towards you and you like, what the fuck going on? Like that's the type of thing that we was into, but the playbook was totally different. It was a lot more play action.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Throw the ball down the field, a lot more deeper in cuts, like 20-yard digs, 20-yard hooks and curls and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So where the windows were a lot bigger. And it was a much more like push the ball down the field type of joint than actually, the methodical intermediate passing game.
Yeah.
So it was totally different offense. It was
my boy coached with you guys on that team, Mike Johnson.
Yeah, that's I love Mike, man.
Yeah,
Mike was good people.
I talked to Mike. Mike coaching at in college right now. He's at Syracuse, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. He's at Syracuse, but Mike's a good friend of mine. Known him forever, but he's coached Niners with you guys. I think Riley had hired him.
Yeah.
Mike Riley brought him in. They were boys. Brought him into Atlanta first, and then obviously he stayed.
Yeah, he worked. I mean, he was a quarterback coach. He worked directly with Mike because he a lefty too.
Yeah. His son's one of the best quarterbacks. Went to Michigan, then Oregon and Michigan, and then now I don't know where his son is at now, but yeah, no doubt. Hey, real quick, we do a little segment. I got a fan that's one of your biggest fans, man, and he wanted to ask you a question before you got off here, and I can't thank you enough for joining us. Our man, he's a Florida boy, a white boy who thinks he can hoop, but he's a normal fan on the show or a guest on the show. He comes on all the time. Our main man, White, I want to ask you a few questions real quick.
What's happening?
Whiteo, you gotta mute your shit, Whiteo. You got voice coming through, Whiteo.
Whiteo got the jersey on and
What's
everything. He ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, he got to mute his thing though. He's got YouTube on or something. He's got sound coming out the back end. He had a question for you. He rocking your shit. He's like, I'm ready to go. Roddy, my guy. Let's see if he fixed it real quick. You fix it, Whiteo? Unmute your shit.
Yeah, we can't hear him.
Yeah, you all fuck. Go ahead, talk. Whiteo, talk. You don't hear me, Whiteo? Whiteo fucked it up. Right. Too bad. You only get one chance. Hey, Roddy, I can't thank you enough, man. What you got going on nowadays? You out in Atlanta still?
Yeah, man. I'm out here coaching high school football at Peachtree Ridge High School, man.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I got Trent Richardson on every Tuesday, man. We do T-Rich Tuesdays. And he coaching at Hoover, who had a situation with their coach. And
is that really a situation though, JB?
Not to me, but I mean,
I just can't believe.
I just want to ask you, like, how do you relate to these kids now?
Listen, you know what I did when I first got there? I'm gonna tell you exactly what I did. I huddled all my guys up. I said, listen, let me tell you how this is gonna go, right? I said, I don't know any of y'all. I'm going to play the best guys, right? I said, so I'm going to play whoever is the best guys. I'm going to play you how you practice. If you practice shitty, your ass ain't getting in, right? And I said, and the last thing I'm going to say, do not tell your mom or dad to email me about nothing. I said, because none of them know more about wide receiver than me. So
I love it.
If you want to leave, you can leave, go to another school. I don't care. But while I'm here, don't tell them email me. Don't tell them text me. Just tell them if they want you to get better, watch the film with you.
I love it, man.
I
tell kids' parents all the time, man. You get one time to ask me a question. Come on in with your kid when you drop them off, and then that's it. Recruiting's over in college and in high school. Come on Sunday and watch your game film with your son. Come in, watch it. I'm telling you, I tell all young coaches in high school, bring the parents in on a Sunday, watch the film with them, with your kid, with the players. And if your kid's getting scooped up and driven to the goddamn gate, then don't fucking say nothing to me, lady. And unfortunately, it's mostly single mamas out there who really are just looking out for their sons, but don't know why.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. It's like, come on, man.
Bro,
I got this.
One of our coaches had to go through that the other day. It was like after the game, one of the parents came up to him screaming. I was like, yo, no, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
I don't know how y'all do it, dog. I don't know how to do it with these kids now. These helicopter parents are the worst, man. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. It's crazy to me. Man, but good luck. We gotta have you on more, man. If you out there chilling, we gotta get you on during the season some more as we get through this college and NFL season. Who you got, real quick? Right now, where you at in the NFL right now? Who surprised you, and who's like not surprised you? I guess Chiefs are 5-0 and Minnesota's 5-0. I'm sure that's probably a surprise. And Sam Darnold, who I picked to be the comeback player of the year. Where you at with as this season goes along? Where you at with the NFL?
Man, I mean, I like the Vikings. They play defense. They run the ball. Sam Darnold's in full control. You know what I'm saying? It's a testament to tell you how bad the Carolina Panthers organization is. I mean, they just let quarterbacks come through there, and then they go somewhere else.
What about the Jets? What about the Jets, though? Firing that guy yesterday, and that shit seemed like it's a show, dog.
It is. But you know what? That's what happens when you get Aaron Rodgers, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you get a guy like that, man,
you got to pay down to him, right? You got to do what he do or say.
You stuck because the Jets defense hasn't given up over 20 points but one time this season. And they 2-3. Now, we used to tell ourselves, if we don't get the 24, that's on us. We used to tell us that if we don't get the 24 on offense, that's on us. We supposed to lose that game. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers, you out there, you score 9 points. You score 15 points. You scoring 7. Like
9 to a rookie quarterback who threw for 62 yards. Bo Nix threw for 62 yards and won. Come on, man. And the OC Hackett still has a job today.
That's what I'm talking about. And see, that's the problem with like getting somebody like Aaron Rodgers. It's like now you got to deal with Nathaniel Hackett, and you know he ain't no good, right? But you got to sit around here and let him coach because Aaron Rodgers want to be cool with him and be able to laugh with and giggle with him in the meetings. You know what I'm saying? While we lose it. Nah, man. I told Robert Slim should have fired that man after game 3. That was it for me. I would have fired him and be like, hey, man, you got to go.
It's crazy. I think they fired the least important person of the whole organization in Robert Salah. He was just a face, man. He wasn't no, and they're talking about he wore Iran or Israel, his heritage. He wore a patch, and they fired him for that. Like, come on, man. I ain't buying that.
What does that have to do with you hired this man to coach men, coach a football team? What the fuck they got to do with anything?
Nothing. I'm not buying that shit at all. Like that. I'm like, come on, man. I think that they screwed up when they didn't play him in the preseason to see what he had after an injury. And now I know I got to either run the ball on first and second down more or know that Aaron's not ready until about week 5 with that leg and shit. And I don't think when you didn't demand him play in the preseason, I think he lost it. And Aaron knew it was blood in the water. It's like, oh, shit, I run this shit now. This is my show. And it was over. That's our opinion.
I tell people all the time. And when we was in the league, we had to play during the preseason. We played maybe 7 to 10 snaps in the first game. We played 20 snaps in the second. We played a whole half in the third, and then came out for the second drive of the second half to start the second half. We did that every year that I was in the league. Every year. Because we did not want to get off the slow starts when the season started. The reason why all these teams are bad is all these penalties. People can't get lined up. And all this other shit that's going on is because nobody want to play in the preseason anymore.
It's crazy. They're not even tripping on the owner, though. This motherfucker bought a team in 68. Ain't done shit since. They ain't never done shit since.
Ain't done nothing.
I mean, I look at it, Jimmy Johnson factor in Dallas. I look at Dallas in the same situation. You ain't won since and that's what I was saying when you brought up that intermediate passing route for Matty Ice. Mike Johnson was the one telling me that he reminded him of Troy Aikman back in Dallas when they were intermediately so legit with Novacek. And checking it down, and then you got Harper and Irvin on the outside, and they were just fucking. And Aikman was just never going to drop, balls never hitting the grass. That motherfucker was so accurate. That reminded him of Matty Ice, your era.
No, I'm telling you, man. Them spacing concepts, them out, man, hit the back foot, ball, sideline. Ball.
We don't see that no more. My next guest, who's a college and NFL coach forever, same shit. We're like, dog, you see the drop hit. And then it's run around this motherfucker. Like, there ain't no hitting it and going, knowing where I'm going pre-snap compared to post-snap, what happens during the snap, everything. Something changed during the snap, these motherfuckers ad-lib central. There ain't no 1, 2, 3.
They've dumbed the football down so much that they've taken away the game and the learning from the players. Like, you don't even have to learn a playbook no more. You just got to learn a signal. So I know this signal mean post. I know this signal mean curl. I just got to line up and just look at this signal. Oh, I got a 7. Or I got a corner out. Like, I ain't got to learn nothing. Like, I ain't got to learn no plays. Like, I'm just.
Man, I can't thank you enough. Before you leave, though, how frustrating is it when you see a cat running around back there when your ass is wide open from the jump? Not only from the jump, but then at the end when you see this motherfucking quarterback walk out of bounds from not getting hit, and your ass is sitting in the end zone. Like, can you explain that real quick?
Listen, I was done with that a long time ago, man. I told people, listen, one time we went to Pro Bowl. We went to Pro Bowl, and we had like a mobile quarterback. I can't remember who was playing with me that year. And they was running around. Man, I ran out of bounds. I'm not running around with you, man.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not running around all day with you. I'm not playing that, yo.
Tony was with y'all too, right? You was with Tony too?
Yeah. This is like backyard football. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why it's so hard to evaluate quarterbacks nowadays and what they're gonna do in the NFL because they ain't playing football.
I agree. That's what me and Noel Mazzoni say the same shit. They're not. You get a card now, run that shit real quick. Now they got, I think communications in the helmet in college is the worst possible thing you could do with a quarterback because now in the NFL, they're going to get it too, and they haven't been taught shit yet in college. So now you're just being throw it hot. Like, nah, man, I don't agree with it. I agree with you. It's backyard football, and that's why quarterback play, to me, is at the all-time lowest I've ever seen, man. I don't know why people don't realize it. Like, every player I have on or former player of mine, they're like, I don't get why they don't believe you, coach. I'm like, dog, I don't know. It's not like I don't get off on hating. No, I'm just telling the real. Like, quarterback play is bad. Like,
it's awful. Hey, JB, I have to say this, man. You right about that. I mean, I'm looking at these games nowadays, and I'm like, man, I don't know how these guys gonna make it at the next level. I mean, to develop a guy that's coming from a college system of just running around, it's gonna take him 3 years to actually learn the offense and actually be able to be on time and on schedule.
You know, guys like Caleb and Bryce in organizations that are so dysfunctional with lack of talent, especially O-line talent, and you think they're going to be good? I don't get it. Like, I'm like, nah, I'd rather play behind the red rifle for a year and learn like Mahomes did, like Brady did, like Aaron did. All the greats they learned. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't throw my cats to the wolves unless I had something like, and how many good quarterbacks are you drafting if your team is good anyway? None. You already got a quarterback. So, hey, real quick, I got to ask you, you had 6,000-yard seasons. There's a stat, and I don't know if Bailey got it, but Torrey Holt, who I've known for a while, and his brother, to me, was one of the greatest ball catchers, like as far as with his hand. The ball never crossed his face, and you know what I mean by receiver, never crossed his face. His hands were impeccable. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer? And then I got to ask you, because he has actually better numbers than Chris Carter. And I saw a stat. Yeah. And I'm like,
hell yeah, Torrey, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And Isaac got in that Ram team.
Let me tell you, Let me tell you the problem with wide receiver. And they tell him, because I go through the sequence with everybody else, right? So you get nominated, right? And then once you get nominated, it's 3 stages that you got to get to where you get to the last stage of like 25 players. And then they ask us, the nominated players, to give us a list of the guys that are going in 1 through 10. And you have to fill out that list, right? And then you turn your list in. So it's probably 100 guys turning this list in on who should get in, right? So I'm talking to the guy because I know the guy that's over the Hall of Fame. And I was like, why is it such a log jam at wide receiver? He says, because all of y'all have similar stats. He was like, so who should we let in? Because we let in one guy with 10,000 yards. It's 12 of y'all that got the same statistics as that person. You know, back in the day, it's like you hit the 10,000 yard mark as a running back, you in the Hall of Fame. That's an automatic. And it's still an automatic for them today. If you
40,000 was QB, right? 40,000.
Yes. Yeah. So now they're like, we can't hold y'all to that standard. Now it's got to be a different criteria. Now they're going off how many Pro Bowls, how many All Pros you have, and then, you know, some of the other things. And I go back to my career, right, where I was like Larry put me on this early, I mean, probably later on in my career. He was like, Roddy, why are you turning down like Pro Bowl, like alternates, right? Because I was pissed because I didn't make it, right?
Yeah.
And then a guy dropped out, and they was like, all right, Roddy, you know, do you want to come? And I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to come because I should have made it in the first place, right? But all of that now is a resume builder that now I don't have, right?
Yeah. Damn. Good point.
So now that you look at it, it's like, dang, like I could have had, instead of me having four Pro Bowls, I could have had like 6. Now it looks like a totally different number. You know what I'm saying?
You would have had the same amount as Chris Carter.
Yes, I would have had the same amount as Chris Carter if I would have went every time I was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? So
before you get out of here, is Mike Evans the most underrated wideout of all time?
I don't think so because I think the guy's a Hall of Famer.
No, I agree, but it seems like he doesn't get like the hype and the media coverage and all he does is just go out there and
you know why though? Because he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Kind of like you in Atlanta, right?
It's like if that man played for the Dallas Cowboys, he would be the greatest wide receiver you've ever seen in football. If he played for the 49ers, if he played for the New York Giants, you know what I'm saying? But since he's in
Steve Smith, Chad Johnson, JUCO buddies of mine that played with me, I agree. The same thing, right? If they weren't in Carolina or Cincy, maybe.
Oh, Chad, this is no lie. Chad has been all pro like 4 times in the NFL, which is impossible to do. This man came up in the air with Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Torrey Holt. Isaac was in the league. He was in the league. Like, he was all pro with Marvin Harrison, Reggie. Like, all these dudes was in the league while Chad was doing this, yo. Like, that's crazy, man.
It was a hell of a wideout core to be going against.
That's what I tell people all the time. I'm like, it depends on what area you came up in. Like, who was your guys? You know what I'm saying? Like, who was the guys that were at their best when you were going? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you competing against, like, for me, for instance, like, I'm in the back end of Terrell Owens, Chad Johnson, and Randy Moss. Then I kicked into Larry Fitzgerald, Megatron,
Andre Johnson. You had
Andre Johnson. Like that's who I gotta make all pro over. Like
you had that Ram crew.
Ending.
You had that group was ending, right? Isaac.
Yeah. And then Reggie Wayne and like you gotta understand, like all these dudes out there that was like great players. Like that's my era of wide receivers. Like I had to make all pro against.
You come in with AB.
Yeah, AB was like AB was just coming the guy when I was like my 6th year in the league, and I was the guy at the point. Missing 132, and then who came, and now who is like this guy too, which I tell people all the time is like me getting 1,000 yards with Julio was the easiest 1,000 yards I ever got in my life. It was like when he wasn't there, it was the hardest 1,000-yard seasons I was having. But when he got there, it was so easy.
Damn. Man, I can't thank you enough, dog. We got to do this again. It was fun, man. A lot of energy. Like I said, I think disagreements create great conversations. I tell people all the time. And it is what it is, like I said. And I appreciate you coming on, man, and being a real one. And we'll chop it up. We'll stay in touch, man, for sure. I appreciate you coming on. We'll do it again.
All right, sounds good, man.
All right, buddy. Peace. From one legend to another, man. Try to get my boy Wido in, man. Sometimes shit just don't happen. I know Wido loves Roddy, and we'll do it again and get him on with him next time. But we go from one legend to another, man, and it is Chalk Talk Wednesday. Eye in the Sky Don't Lie. Let's bring our main man, Coach Noel Mazzoni, college and NFL legend.
JB.
Look at that whiteboard, man. I'm at the house today at the lounge, so we still got DV Sport, though. Man, my damn radiator blew out on the Beamer, and I didn't want to drive the truck to downtown L.A., so I said – and then Smitty's been out all week with Fox. Fox has him on relocation till tomorrow, so we'll be back tomorrow. So we got some new film, too, that I want to use on the board. And then I think I got you a great deal on that board, by the way, waiting to see my boy's going to send me it or not. But I sent you that what it is, and now I'm going to see if I can get that shit for about
I need the JB deal.
Yeah, I think I could get it for about 75% off.
Really?
So, yeah.
Hey, so Roddy, what a dude, man. Real guy.
Did you ever get to coach him?
No, but I'll tell you a very quick story. So I'm at NC State. He's coming out of Charleston. He's in Charleston, James Island High School, I believe. Right?
Yeah.
James Island High School, and like plays all the sports. They bring the film in. We watch the film. You go back in the days when you really recruited, right?
No,
you're on the road all the time. You went and watched them play wrestle. You went and watched them play basketball. You went and watched. You know, now these guys, all you do is they just Google 24 sports and they pick the top 10 guys and then let's go recruit those 10 guys, right? Because 24/7, whatever one of those services tell them those are the best guys out there. Like some 22-year-old kid in an office watched some film and decided that's the guy I need to pay my mortgage with, right? But we had other guys. So Holt had just left NC State. Rivers had just left NC State. All right. And he's another one of the long list of guys I went, he's all right. I don't know if he'll ever be a really good player. And he turns out to be Roddy White. Are you kidding me?
Hey, like at that time, though, hitting and missing was much more critical than it is now, huh?
Say what?
Like hitting and missing on a big-time recruit was much more critical then than it is now, because now it's just fucking portal, drop in, and, we missed it, Roddy. Yeah.
No, if you missed, you owned him. You owned him for 4 years.
Yeah.
So you got 85 guys on scholarship. Let's just say you miss on 5 out of the 25 you're going to sign over 4 years. That's a whole recruiting class of kids that aren't contributing to your football team. All right? I mean, you couldn't run them off. I mean, they were yours. You know?
Yeah. Nowadays, you miss that kid, though, and you can go replace them, though, if you
you tell them, hey, we're not going to renew your scholarship. You need to, back in the day, they signed 4-year scholarships.
Yeah.
So you were committed to them for 4 years, not that. And then they went to the year-to-year contracts, right? So yeah, when you went out and recruited a guy, you had to deep dive on him because you knew he was part of your family for 4 years. Now you're lucky if he's part of your family for 4 months. Right?
That to me is unbelievable, man. I don't understand it.
And I tell you, listen to Kurt. Listen to Kurt's little podcast yesterday.
Kurt Street?
Warner's.
Oh, Kurt Warner. Yeah.
Kurt Warner's.
Yeah, no doubt. He does a good job.
He was kind of talking about the same thing like you guys were talking about the play of the quarterbacks and how they are not developed. And I mean, and Roddy was right on. I mean, it's now a league of read and react quarterbacks. Is he open quarterbacks is what I call them.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Look at Rowdy. Is he open? Yeah. Throw it to him. Is he not open? All right. Then look to JB. Is JB open? No. All right. Then look at the next guy. Right. So there's no really structure conceptually. And, hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. Right. That's what we've done what we've done it, not them. Right.
Yeah. You're right. I said don't blame the kids. The adults in the room changed it. It's just like I don't know. It's unbelievable. Bailey, I think we got some NIL news. To your point that you just started with, this just came in. I don't know. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Financial aid and scholarship agreements are expected to be used now. Now, this is what I want to be clear. The NCAA is now eliminating the national letter of intent. This gets better and better, Noel. Like, what the hell are we doing? So back in the day, the D2 model is the original NIL model I said we should use, meaning we should be able to split scholarships so we can turn 36 into 70. That's the D2 model. D1 got 95, I believe, in your era. Now it's down
85.
to
Now it's 105.
And then they want to eliminate red shirts.
Which just means JB. Now it's 10. I think they're going to 105.
Yeah, and then they're trying to eliminate walk-ons though.
No more walk-ons. Go to everybody's getting paid, and all that means is there was 3,700, 4,000 kids in the transfer portal last year. That just means now there's going to be 6,000, 8,000 kids in the transfer portal. So now you're going to spend your whole career recruiting portal kids and raising money.
That's why I've talked to guys like Sark and Lane, and they're just like, man, if I could make that same money at Walmart, I'd be fucking out tomorrow.
Yeah.
They don't want to do this shit. You know damn well. These guys don't want to do this shit. It's babysitting one-on-one. It's babysitting one-on-one. We're babysitting your kids more than you are, and then you still want to bitch and moan about every single thing and why their kids should decommit, which isn't even a word, by the way, and transfer and enter the portal.
Well, now you're talking about the money, right? So now mom and dad, even down to the high school, filters down to the high school. Now it's like, hey, my son, it's not like, oh, I just need to get looked at by a college coach and maybe go play at Utah Tech or whatever, just so he can get an education. No, now it's like, hey, my kid, I want him to get the $1 million NIL deal, right? So you need to play my son because he's worth $1 million NIL deal.
Staying on college real quick. I know Matt Rule just came out and said something similar to what I've been saying. College football is as watered down as I've ever seen it. People are calling it parity because it's not the same teams, coach, that are winning. I'm like, well, that's bullshit. Beat me. Until you beat me, guess what? I'm going to stay the same team, and I'm going to keep whipping your ass. I don't understand this whole mediocrity is the new excellence thought process that we now have because everyone deserves a trophy, I guess, now, and everyone's supposed to win. 12 teams last week got upset. I don't believe it's called upsets anymore. This is what it is. Everybody can win now. It's college basketball, right? In the tournament. Like, it's all equal. This is not parity in my opinion. Parity means good fucking sport. I mean, it means good product. I'm watching a good week-to-week product. This is not good. Like, let's be honest. This isn't good football. Watching Toledo smack Mississippi State is not good football. I'm sorry.
No.
Where you at with this whole parity thing and how it is right now, and then how the 12-team playoff's going to look? Because I'm just waiting for if we got kids redshirting, Noel, in the fucking week 5, which is now the new trend. Now kids are just redshirting in the middle of the damn season because of playing time or what have you. You don't think they're opting out of a playoff game when Liberty's going to be the 12th seed and having to play whoever, and they know they ain't going to beat, and their agents aren't on the phone saying, hey, Johnny, let's get ready for the combine. You don't have a shot against fucking Ole Miss. Is that not going to happen? Yeah.
I mean, it's become a farm league, right? It's becoming a farm league. And why does University of Miami, right, who I know Shaun really well, a lot of great coaches out there. This has nothing to do with the coaches, man. We're just in the game, right? We're just trying.
Handcuffed.
Yeah, we're just in the game. But all of a sudden, there's the parity. I maybe he was talking about the parity, meaning that I can be a 5-6 win Miami, who's a good football team, but couldn't win more than 5 or 6, and all of a sudden Cam Ward shows up. One guy shows up, and now all of a sudden they're a top 5 team. Okay. Hey, in 3 months. Okay. So, so who knows? The kid that just beat Alabama from
JUCO kid.
Vanderbilt, right? Albuquerque, New Mexico, had no scholarships, right?
Goes to
New Mexico.
Military, right?
Yeah, goes to New Mexico State.
After military.
My son's at New Mexico State. This is last year, shows up. He's like the 3rd quarterback or something like that. Guy gets hurt. Guy's not playing. This kid all of a sudden jumps in, and they win 10 games at New Mexico State.
Beat Auburn.
Beat Auburn, right? Yeah. What's so funny is my son said the kids down there were saying that Diego in the locker room, he said in the locker room, Diego last year, all he could ever talk about is because his guy is Johnny Manziel. Loves Johnny, right? Yeah. Johnny football. He would on the locker room. He would tell his teammates in the locker room all the time. One day I'm going to beat Alabama. Isn't that crazy? Really? One day I'm going to beat Alabama. So all of a sudden,
I got to call Taylor and say, Taylor is Noel's son, by the way. Everybody out there, I'm going to say, Taylor, how the hell did you lose this kid to fucking Vandy?
Yeah, well, they took him, the offensive coordinator, Jerry Kill. They took them all up there, right? But they're built. You have a chance to really like make a statement and start to build a foundation, a culture, a good solid program. But guy's gone. You got no quarterback, and now you're just begging for yards, right? You're trying to beat Jacksonville State. You're trying to beat SEMO, where before. So,
It's ironic you mentioned that because Jerry Kilfactor, who's a mentor of mine, great guy, man, D2 guy, Emporia State, Kansas JUCO guy. He's been around forever. Everywhere he goes, it seems like he is a factor wherever he goes. He's now there with Clark Lee and Vanderbilt. I have to say he has some sort of big-time imprint on what's going on at Vandy, right?
I would guess so because the guy's a dude, right? He knows how, he's got some secret sauce someplace.
I know he had a seizure issue he's had dealt with for a long time. It cost him some jobs. It cost him to leave Minnesota, other places. He left Minnesota because of the 3 kids that he sent me to Indy over a false allegation, and they forced him out after that bowl game appearance that he was supposed to play Washington State in. And then a good friend of mine replaced him as the interim and became the head coach there. And then it's just a shit show. And I know he had a bitter taste with the NCAA for a long time, and then he kind of moved around and stayed below the radar, I guess. And then he said, I don't need to be a head coach no more. But he still has an imprint on this thing. So let me dive into some NFL with you real quick as I'm trying to get this film up, but we may not get it. I don't know yet. Let me ask you.
That's right, because I got to bounce off in about 23 minutes anyway because I got a Zoom call. All right,
perfect. So we'll just wait until next week in the studio again. Let me dive into this Aaron Rodgers Jets thing. You were in that organization under Woody Johnson, who's been there since 1968 and has yet to win anything under his tenure. But yet we got rid of a guy, in my opinion, Robert Salah, who I thought was over his head as a head coach. But really, they got rid of the guy that was the least meaningful guy in the organization. You got Nathaniel Hackett there. I don't know if you know Hackett or not, but his dad, obviously, we know, Paul. And did a lot of good things in college at or at SC and etc. Where are you at with this firing? And they're 2-3. Their defense hasn't allowed more than 20 points all year long. Their offense put up 9, 13. Is it not Hackett and Aaron Rodgers struggling more than it is Robert Salah and Ulrich, who's now the interim head coach? Ulrich, who's the defensive guy. Where are you at with this firing, and what is
Brick, Jeff, so Ulbrich, Brick, all right, when I went to UCLA,
he was with you. Yeah.
Brick was with me, or we were together. He was actually our linebacker coach. That'd be 2012. And then Lou Spanos was our D coordinator. Lou Spanos went, and Brick became the defensive coordinator. He was our he's a special teams guy. And there was like never a question in my mind that whatever Brick does is those guys are going to be ballers. Because like his story is an unbelievable story. Played at Hawaii, was never like, you know, the guy, but just a hard-nosed, freaking awesome dude. Players coach, guys, kids played his ass off for him. All I mean, hell. I'm excited. I'm excited for him, right?
Yeah.
As far as on the other side, I agree. I mean, the head coach really his responsibility. Well, you were a head coach. I never was one, so you could tell me more than I.
Yeah,
can
but NFL head coach, explain the difference between that and like being under a Jim Moore in college, where you're kind of got more hands on your side of the ball. Jim was more on the defensive side, being a defensive guy. Salah's a defensive guy, but he's a head coach in the NFL. Explain the difference. He's more of a CEO right now.
Yeah, I think like the head coach is more, and the head coach is more. I mean, but then this goes back to like Andy Reid. I mean, Andy Reid, his fingerprint. I mean, his hands are all over, right?
He touched the buttons on offense, yeah.
But so number one is if you want to be a good head coach, have good guys in your staff room, right?
Only as good as our assistants, right? No, we're only as good as our assistants.
Yes, just like your assistant coach he better have good players in his room. Okay, I mean it all comes down to that. And then I think so. It's like what's the culture like in the building? Like I know the JB culture in the building. No bullshit. Do your job. We're gonna be tough. Blah blah blah. Right? Hey, if you're late to meetings, hey, it's your ass. Yeah, and all cultures are different. Some guys aren't like that, right? So the culture in it, but I think Roddy hit it pretty close on the head right there. You bring in Aaron, all right? Are you just bringing? Are you and I don't know Hackett at all. I really had never watched him call plays, except I think he was at Denver, but he was the head coach at Denver a little bit. But you got Aaron Rodgers back there, and you got a pretty good running back. I know they maybe have some issues in the O-line, but come on, play to your strength. Play to your strength right now is your defense, okay? And so let's play to our strength as a head coach. Let's play to our strength. Let's be great on special teams. We got a really good defense. Let's manage the game on offense in the NFL, and let's structure our, so what's the 30,000 foot view for the head coach? Right, he's a guy. He's got to put all those pieces together and understand this is who we're going to be.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
I mean, don't tell me that you didn't tell your D coordinator, offensive coordinator, game by game. Hey, this is how we're going to win this football game. Right.
And like you said, Andy Reid, I called the O as the head coach. So my defensive coordinator. Not only did I say this is what I want to see and etc., but I also said, hey, in the game, how you guys playing? Can I go for it?
Yes.
And if he said, "Nah, coach, then I'll punt it." I'm gonna also give him that respect too, and say, "You put your ass, you work a lot all week too, and I know your heartbeat on the defense. Where you guys at? Can you fucking stop him if I go for it and don't get it at the fucking 40?" You know what I mean? So like, there's a part of that as the head coach you got to understand too. Like this is a give and take type of thing, and so I think a lot of people don't realize that as far as going in this. Like I used to go down there all the time. What up? Can I go for it? You know what I mean? Like, how you playing? Like, yeah, coach, fuck it, let's go.
Hey, but how crazy has it been, JB, since we jumped into this profession? First of all, okay, I'm going to give you my theory on why coaches. It used to be, okay, man, he's had a couple bad seasons. Let's make a change. Now it's like, oh shit, he's had a couple bad games. Let's make a change.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's even like, oh shit, he had a bad half. We need a new coordinator, right? I mean, it's just like instant oatmeal shit going on. And so here was my whole theory, right? When I took my first coordinator's job at Ole Miss, I was making $55,000 a year, right? So you got Billy Joe and Billy John sitting up in the stands, and I'm calling a shitty game, and Billy's like, "You gotta get rid of that Mazzoni guy. He's terrible." And the guy's going, "Bro, the guy makes $50,000 a year. Give him a break, right?" Okay. Okay, we'll give him another couple games. We'll give him a year, see how he does, right? Now the same two guys are up in the stands, and their guys saying, "Hey, get rid of Mazzoni. He sucks." And the other guy says, "Hell yeah, we're paying that sumbitch $1 million a year for that bullshit," right? So
great point.
So I mean, people aren't stupid. They know that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're making, you know, six figures or high six figures to go call plays, they want results.
Which is every SEC OC now, probably for the most part. Every one of them is up there high, $500,000 at least, I would say.
I mean, for Power 5, yeah, that you would be like at the bottom of the pile at 500.
Yeah, there's DC's making them. The special team coordinator for Sark, who's a good friend of ours.
Banksy, yeah. Banksy's making a cool meal plus.
Banks used to sleep on my fucking couch, shit face, and have to go recruit St. Bonaventure at 5 a.m.
Hey, but Banks is one of the best dudes ever.
Oh, he is, man. He is. There's no question. Hey, it's crazy. Segue off what you just said to the fan out here, and that's why I wanted to get your take, because what you just said ties into why I think Salah got fired. He didn't demand that Aaron play in the preseason, which I know now we got rookies not even playing in the preseason, which I think is a detriment to head coaches' success and longevity in this league. If he would have played Aaron and said, all right, I need to see you at least a game or two, and at least a half of each of 2 games, I can see, are you ready to throw and drop back 30 times? Or do we need to manipulate the offense and run the football on first and second? They're the worst first and second down team in football. It's a fact. So third down becomes Aaron Rodgers down. I now pin my ears, play coverage, and get to a 40-year-old with a goddamn Achilles tear reconstruction. And now guess what? You're playing into our hands on offense, why the Jets have been bad, in my opinion. If I got to see him, though, at least I say, all right, now let's get under center more on first and second down. Let's run the football with Brees, who's back, it seems like, full go. And our other back, Allen, I believe his name is, who's really good. And then we can play pass and do some things on first and second down. Now it's like they're in the gun. No, it looks like college offense now in the Jets. He's in the gun, and I'm just like, oh, shit. He's throwing the ball again. And he's throwing the ball over the park, and Garrett Wilson seems to be underachieving, in my opinion. Mike Williams is older, and he's an injury-prone guy. They don't really have a big-time tight end. And I'm just looking, their O-line, Tyron Smith and those guys who were legendary guys in their time, but now they look really, really old. Like, I would have played him. I think he lost. He got fired in the summer when he let him go to Egypt, to your point. Non-negotiables, Noel, what are they? Don't miss, not late. We're here at everything. Non-negotiable.
And don't care who you are.
Don't care who you are. It's a team, right? There's no I in team. Nowadays, there's I in team, and apparently it's all about money and this and that. I don't know, man. I think he got fired a long time ago. I think this is just the time he actually would.
Hey, and let's don't get it twisted, JB. He comes out that first game. Aaron comes out that first game and makes some throws, and you go, holy! I mean, as far as being throwing the ball and being and have all,
he lost nothing.
He ain't lost a damn thing, right?
No.
Right? He can do that pieces, which is to your point, okay? But let's ramp him up. Let's see. Let's take. You know, let's don't make him run around and get the shit beat out of him every snap back there in the shotgun. Okay, let's play to his strength, which is he's accurate. He's one of the best throwers in the history of college of NFL football. All right, and so let's build around him. So now we can really showcase what he can do when we need it. I agree.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's a stat out there, Daniel Jones, who I actually defend because of what, and he played with one of our guys, Cutcliffe, who's told me that, listen, Danny has all the tools. He's athletic as shit. He's fast as Justin Fields. He's athletic. He can throw every ball. But again, he's been with no O-line, no weapons whatsoever. The worst O-line and wideouts in football.
Get rid of Barkley.
And now, but look at this. He's got better stats than Aaron Rodgers. And he didn't even have neighbors last week and went on the road to Seattle and won a game. So this is how far we've fallen here.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, look, I've played caller for 20 some years, and I'm not going to sit here and second guess any play callers because we're all like that, Like I can always remember running off. There was always just one old guy running out of the tunnel in the Rose Bowl at UCLA who would sit right above you, run through the tunnel, And at halftime, every game I can remember running out there, and he would yell the same thing every year. Hey, Coach Mazzoni, just call the ones that work. Just call the ones that work.
Yeah,
I go, no shit, right? Right? You're always trying to call just the ones that work, and it doesn't work that way. But where a coordinator comes in, to me, just like a head coach, just like a defensive coordinator, is evaluate your talent, see where your strengths are, see where you got issues, right? And build your structure. Maybe it's not the same thing you did last year, right? Because you got different guys. All of a sudden, you got Aaron Rodgers and not whoever they played with last year, Geno Smith.
No, they had the Mormon MILF hunter, Zach Wilson.
Oh, Zach Wilson. So now here's an athletic kid that can run around and really athletic kid. So you're not running the same offense with Aaron Rodgers you are Zach Wilson.
No, you were in New York under Woody's regime. Let me ask you. Last year with Zach Wilson, they were 2-3, and they scored 93 points through 5 games. This year, they're 2-3 and have scored 93 points through 5 games. That's a crazy stat, ain't it?
That's a crazy stat.
And you have Aaron Rodgers. So, like, that's my point. Like, the only guy to fire I get was Salah. But listen, the offense hasn't changed one bit.
You're gonna. It's like a little bit of insanity, right?
Doing the same shit over and over, expecting
different results. Yep.
I don't get it, man. Before you get out of here, let me ask you something. Jaden Daniels, I said before the season, was the best rookie draft pick in the draft, quarterback-wise.
You know what? You're a frick. It's because you're a guru. That's because you are a guru. Yes. Hey, anybody out there, you want an evaluation done on any player, send it to JB.
Hey, what do I know? But what do I know? Hey, where you at with Jaden and what's going on? I got to see him. My good friend coached him in high school right up the street here. Got to see him, know his mom and dad. Got to see AP recruited him, who I grew up with, to Arizona State. He goes there, looks like a freak. And then everyone said, oh, he's shitty, blah, blah. He's too small. He goes to LSU, wins a Heisman, and does what he does. Has a better, really, statistical season than Joe Burrows last year in LSU when they won the Natty, and he won a Heisman. So is this a shocker to you? Or is it more of a shock that a rookie's gone into Washington and the job that head coach there has done with this team and have them at what, 4-1 or 5-1 is crazy, leading the NFC East. Are you shocked?
So there's another guy, DQ. DQ and I were together at the Jets, right? He was our D-line coach.
For everybody out there, yep.
Hey, another defensive head coach, like Brick, another defensive guy, freaking great dude. I mean, two of the best guys, him and Brick, could really, I'm proud to consider them friends, right? Because they're just super dudes. But I don't know what you thought, because I went here and watched him at ASU, and they put him in as a freshman, and I was like, I don't know if this guy could ever play. It's like a one look wonder, right?
Run.
One look and run around, and you saw the arm talent and warm ups and all that kind of stuff. But a lot of guys have that. I don't know if this guy can ever process information, can do all that. Then he goes to LSU and he's playing big boy college football at LSU, and you're like, holy cow, this guy is, he's pretty good. All right. But still, right. Oh yeah. The naysayers. Oh, wow, yeah, he's got a lot of great players around him. He's throwing to great players. He's got this, they got that. And now he's gone to the next level and done it. I'm a believer. All right. I'm with you.
And that's what we used to say, right, Coach? Make a believer out of me.
I'm a believer. I tell you what, I thought the whole group of rookie quarterbacks are getting better every week.
Bo Nix is winning games. Their defense has been better than we thought at Denver. And Sean Payton, you and I know he's a QB guy, so that's a good fit there. Even though
and I think like I watched that, and I watched Bo Nix, great dude. His dad played at Auburn. Patrick, who's a hell of a high school coach, high school coach down in Alabama. Used to come by when I was at Auburn all the time. I mean, awesome family, but you see a guy like that, how Sean Payton has brought him along and plays a little bit to his strengths, but he's young, he's athletic, he can run around, he can do those type of things.
And he's older now. College has allowed you to come into the league now at 25.
Yeah. So this is back when I was with the Jets. We did a study. I did a study with the scouting department, and we took So this would be 2008. I think we were going to take a quarterback. We ended up taking Mark Sanchez, right? But we did a study. We went back and we said, okay, what are the common denominators of franchise NFL quarterbacks? So I went back 15 years and took all the first round, all the franchise first round quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round, right? And then, okay, the guys that came out of that 15 years that became the John Elways, the Dan Marinos, the Troy Aikmans, the Peyton Mannings, right? The franchise guys, right? And it was fascinating. Number one is it was amazing the names on that list that you would never, if I said their name, you'd go, what? Who?
Yeah, Tony Banks.
Who?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
You know, you go like, what? This guy was a first round pick? Okay. And then the only common denominators these guys had, okay, except Drew Brees, okay, is they were all, and I'm just giving you the facts, right? They were all 6'3" or 6'2.5" or better. They all had like 4-to-1. Talk about watching their college film, right?
Yeah.
Okay, out of college. They all had like 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. They were all a 68% or higher completion guy.
In the teeth of the coverage at that time.
Yes. All right. And they all had high double-digit starts in college as a quarterback.
Yeah, I remember you said this a few weeks ago. The starts are the telltale sign. Like, we don't have the starts anymore. Or do you think the starts, like a Bo Nix, for instance, goes to Auburn, plays there, then he's
played in 50-some games.
Yeah, then he goes to Oregon, and like, does it matter that it's a different philosophy and offense, though, now that these quarterbacks are going to 4 schools in 4 years in college?
I don't know if does that skew those numbers right there, but yeah. I think it's like anything. It's like, does it matter that Ronald Curry is shooting threes in his backyard or in the gym or out on the street? No, he's shooting threes 1,000 times a day, right?
Okay, so flip what you just said. What's now coming out? Now we got what, 5'10" guys who are freaks of nature running around the place with big arms, but are inaccurate. They don't have the starts. They all exactly opposite, right?
Yeah, it's the opposite. So basically, if I look at a quarterback, there's 3 things that gotta have them, right? Okay. Number one is the 2 top things are you got to be accurate and you got to be a great decision maker. Because if you're accurate and you're not a great decision maker, you're no good to me. If you're a great decision maker, but you're freaking not accurate, you're no good to me. So you got to have those. You got to have those 2 things just right out the start. All the arm strength and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that falls a little bit down the road. Okay. So by like an Aaron Rodgers, all these quarterbacks, if you watch when they throw, like Caleb Wilson, even when he throws on he's one of the most accurate guys you could see, right? Throwing the football. Okay.
Yeah. Arm talent, there's anomalies. Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Mahomes, those guys are anomalies with arm talent, right? Marino.
So then what comes next? Got to be a great decision maker for my football team, right? So what makes you a great decision maker? Coaching and experience makes you a great decision maker. All right. Yeah. So our kids getting coaching and getting the experience. All right. And I mean, like, learning the position. I don't mean the experience of throwing a key 3 out there because you got leverage on a Mike linebacker, right? I mean, I could teach my 6-year-old grandson to do that. It's about reading coverage. It's like Roddy was saying, right? It used to be, remember back in the old days, you taught quarterbacks 5-7 step drop. You get eyes on the safety. If he rolls weak, find the strong safety. Where's the weakness of the cover 3? What's the concept? And the same thing Kurt was saying. Now we're just a left to right, right to left, pure progression, high to low, pure progression offenses.
It's changed. It's a different galaxy now. No, let's just be honest. It's a different galaxy, and it's crazy. I'm seeing so much crazy shit out here now because we allow it instead of coach it. And I'm looking at football and I'm just like, oh my God, man, the detriment and the demise of the sport we once loved.
Okay, so JB, so that's why we had to change.
Yeah, you're right. And then you adapt or die, right?
You got to adapt because now I know, God dang, if I don't score points my first year in the first 3 or 4 games, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to put my best player out there. I'm going to make it as simple as I can for him, right? And go try to score points. I don't have the luxury of waiting for my redshirt freshman quarterback. Hey, don't worry, fans. In a year from now, 18 months from now, we're going to be a really good offense. They don't want to hear that shit, right?
Yeah, you're right, man. It's just crazy to me. I don't know. It's just it's unbelievable to me now. What's your biggest takeaways lately? I don't know if you've been watching too much. I know you're coaching and everything too. Eric Weddle got a big win against former NFL player himself, Nick Barnett, down in San Diego. Weddle's balling out as a head coach. He's probably gonna get coach of the year. He's 5-1 down in San Diego.
Who did Eric beat?
Nick Barnett's team. Nick Barnett
took
his team to the finals last year. Yeah.
Yeah, Nick played for us when I was at Oregon State. He was our linebacker.
Damn. Yeah. Damn, that's right. What year was that?
That would have been 2002, 2001, 2002, right in there.
Damn.
I think 2002. Nick was then he went to Green Bay, I think. Nick did.
Green Bay. Yeah, Green Bay.
And then now that I had a couple kids that played for me at UCLA that are on Eric's staff and Nick's staff down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. How you guys doing in high school now? How you guys doing?
We're 5-0. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. What kind of question is that? I mean, I've been doing this. This is my 3rd year doing it. I kind of volunteer, go call. I show up like once a week to practice, and I show up Friday to call a few plays. And I won back-to-back. We won state championships last 2 years, and now I'm gonna try to win another one this year.
Hey, hold on. Time out. There was a rumor on Football Scoop that you were coaching and offensive coordinating 2 teams.
Yes.
Okay, put that to rest. Tell us what the real story is.
Okay, so here's what happened, right? So the school that we won, which I won two state championships with, right? Well, it's like a 40-minute drive, 35-minute drive from my house. Well, they take a new coach at this school right by my house, right? So I go over there, I just volunteer, right? I don't get paid. I don't do nothing. I just want to go try to make quarterbacks get better, right? Sure. So I tell them that yeah, I'll be your offensive coordinator this year. All right, cool. All right. In the meantime, the quarterback at Higley was coming back. Luke, who's going to U of A, right? They interview him. All right, like this all happens in like this little 3-day span of days. They interview him. And he goes, yeah, I'm really excited because Coach Pizzoni is going to be my offensive coordinator again this year. Well, the transaction hadn't really, had been out and all that, and the kids are kids, right? He didn't know. And what I had told the coach down there is like, look, send me your tape, I'll help, because they're different. They're one's 6A, one's 5. They're in different leagues. They don't play each other. The whole thing. I said, look, I'll still help you down there if I can and all that. If you got questions, call me. But I'm gonna be up here doing this one. Well, the kid didn't get the memo, right? So he says it to the reporter. Next day, I get a text from Rivers going, Coach, are you really gonna call plays at 2 different schools on the same night? I go, yeah. How stupid is that of a guy to even write that without calling me? And no, that's physically impossible.
It sounds like you're recruiting. You're going to go to a half at Chandler, and then you're going to go recruit a half over at Urlacher's kids' school. Urlacher's kids balling at Notre Dame as a freshman, by the way, out there in your area, Scottsdale. I might be out there not this weekend, but next. So you're still being in town, right?
Is PP finally showing up to town?
Yeah, he just bought a new house. He's going to buy a new house.
He's in Silverleaf, right?
Nah, it's a little bit. I'm gonna show you where. I'm gonna send you the new house. I'll send it to you in text. It's pretty crazy.
So you're coming next weekend?
Not this one, but the next one. Yeah, because I'm actually gonna look at a property too.
So we gotta talk. So what day you getting in?
Friday. So are you playing that night?
Yeah, we're playing Perry that night. It'd be a big game.
I might have to just go up to that game, and then I'll stay with Pat that night after we'll go out and have water or whatever, ice water. And then
we'll have ice water and nachos.
Yeah, ice water, nachos.
That's kind of that's what we usually do. Yeah.
All right, go enjoy it, man. I'll see you next week. We'll be back in studio, and we'll get on the board and the film, and I'll let you know about that board for your house, too.
All right, brother. God bless you, man.
All right, brother. I'll see you next week.
All right.
Later. We got Coach Fred, HBCU legend. It's a action-packed Wednesday. Fred, if you can hear me, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to pay the bills. This is brought to you by First Round Performance and BetUS, and then we'll be back with Coach Fred and some alarming new video that we have for you that we're going to break down with Coach Fred on the state of what's happening in football and why it's so bad. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 4 minutes. Pound that like. What up, man? This is a proud new sponsor of the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty, and it is First Round Performance.
Yeah.
Make sure you head on over to firstroundperformance.com. We got the merch, the gear. They are top-notch company.
High quality, JB. All about the quality here. Workout gear, exclusive gear. What's that right there, JB?
By the way, nobody else in the country or the world has this short right here. You can put this short on. It helps your back. It helps your hamstrings, helps your quads as you work out.
What?
You can wear these right underneath your workout shorts or what have you. It's kind of like a girdle, but very, very comfortable. Shorts Against Syndrome. It's SAFS. Go head on over there and check it out. First Round Performance.
JB, they got workout bands. They got ankle weights.
What's this?
What's in that box?
Kind of good.
It's our first time seeing this.
What's this?
I'm nervous. What's that?
A 40-yard dash electric timer. You can go get your workout on with the light and the strobe, the whole deal. FirstRoundPerformance.com.
Oh, you just turned it on, JB.
Bam.
You want that smoke?
Go check it out.
I know you ain't trying to race me, JB.
I might race Smitty and smoke him.
You ain't trying to race me. You scared of that life.
Yeah, this is real deal. You guys got to go check it out. FirstRoundPerformance.com. Head on over there. Proud new sponsor of the Coach JB Show.
This is nice, JB.
With Big Smitty. And
all this is mine, right?
Hell yeah. Listen, their premium gear, including the revolutionary SAFS shorts I just showed you, are expertly designed by a leading orthopedic surgeon to align your hips and relieve your pain. It is trusted by athletes and active individuals alike, whether you are pushing your limits with their high-quality resistance bands, as Smitty just showed you, or boosting recovery with the powerful dual-spectrum red light therapy devices that I just showed you. First Round Performance delivers the tools needed to stay at the top of your game. Whether aiming for peak performance or simply wanting to live pain-free, they've got you covered. Visit FirstRoundPerformance.com or shop on Amazon today. They just launched their AmazonStore.com, their Amazon store. This is out there, First Round Performance on Amazon. And so go help them out and grab some performance gear today. And please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions.
Yes, sir.
Go First Round.
Go First Round, baby.
The promo code will be Coach JB. So check that out and head on over there today.
Get right, baby. First Round, the highest quality.
First Round Performance. Go get you some merch.
Ooh, I like this shirt. I like this shirt, JB.
Peace. Fastest 3 minutes brought to you by Slapdick Cigars in Studio and the Coach AB Show with Big Smitty. London has fallen. Aaron Rodgers, holy fuck. You look like you're on ayahuasca plus crack. Get rid of the mustache and the motherfucking porn star do, because your life and career is cooked. Burrow's back. Lucky he's not in the queendom tonight, but guess what? Jamar Chase is back, and Lamar Jackson said, you know what? I'm still the MVP. He may have made the play of the year so far as the Ravens get it done, 41-38. Holy shit, Burrow and this Bengals are shitty. They're 1-4. Derrick Henry said, listen to what? I can still move at 240 pounds in this offense. Harbaugh gets it done, but hasn't won a Super Bowl in 15 years. Let's dive into this. CJ Stroud, oh my goodness. Guess what? Nico Collins finds pay dirt, and they beat the Bills in a great game. But you know what, McDermott? You got some splaining to do, because your play calling down the stretch was absolutely fucking horrific as the Texans kick it through the post and take the win, 23-20. Uh-oh. Is this Jaden Daniels? Is he the rookie of the year, the best quarterback in the draft like I said he was? But what do I know? Commanders smoked the Deshaun Watson weirdo-ass Browns. Caleb Williams goes straight back from the salon getting his nails done to dropping a dime. He's still shitty, but the Bears get it done. Bo Nix gets in an argument with Sean Payton about you should have drafted me earlier, and they beat the Raiders and Max Crosby. The Giants and Daniel Dimes block a huge kick. Look at Daniel Dimes saying, oh shit, I didn't do shit, and still got paid $140 million. All right, let's go. Here we go. Purdy, are you a bus rider or a bus driver? I think you're a bus rider. And the Cardinals and the mental midget gets it done. The Packers and my Rams. Oh, my goodness. They found this big, fast tight end right here. The Rams just can't get it done. 2 injured. And the Packers go on the road to L.A. with the win. The Patriots without Tua go up north into the weather? Is it the Patriots? Is it the Dolphins? Or is it Tua? Because he's 0-11 on the road still while he's recovering. Jacksonville gets it done against Smitty's Colts. The Colts, AR5. No, we'll call him IR5 because the Colts and Joe Flacco is much better. Fastest 2 minutes brought to you by Coach JB Show and Big Smitty. See you tomorrow morning. Peace. Yes, sir. This show is proudly sponsored by our new sponsor and longtime partner that we're about to have, BetUS. You see all the new logos and all the new feng shui. Shout out to everybody joining us on this Work Boot Wednesday. And it only gets better from here as our fan favorite great guest that we love to have on, our HBCU legend, Alcorn State coach, assistant head coach, Coach Fred. Welcome him in on this Wednesday. What up, Coach?
What's up, Coach JB? What's happening?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Smitty on vacation, I guess. Shit, the motherfucker been gone a whole week. I don't know where he at. Nah, he on a location at Fox, so he's back tomorrow. We just had Noel on. We had Roddy White on to start the show. We had a little beef on Twitter, and then we squashed it, had him come on. He came on, and we talked it out. Good dude, man. Had a high energy, man. He hasn't aged a bit since he played, it seemed like. Man, we got a lot to discuss real quick.
Real quick, though, I got on my hat, man. Just, want everybody to keep my state, my area, Tampa, Polk County, in your thoughts, man, as we're bearing down on what seems to be a big, massive hurricane storm. Nothing that we ain't ever dealt with as Floridians, but this one here might actually be one. So, just kind of keep my people in your mind and your thoughts, man. I appreciate it.
No doubt, man. T's and P's. Where you at? Your people there in that area? Is it hitting today?
Nah, tomorrow morning, 4:00 in the morning, supposed to be as the track says, but hopefully as it does and as it's done in the past, it starts to wear down and we just get the wind and the rain, not the massive stuff, So hopefully it holds true.
Yeah, hopefully it hits to a 2 or a 3, right? Or 2, maybe that hopefully gets to nothing, man. You got that down there. It's crazy right now. Man, look, we got Trent Richardson's on every Tuesday. Eric Weddle's on Mondays. We've been seeing it every week. We see something new in the football world that we look at, you and I, old school guys like everyone I just mentioned, and look at it like Noel Mazzoni, and we're like, man, what is going on? You either coach it or allow it. Do you hear that feedback? Is that on your end?
No, I don't hear anything.
I don't know what that is. But listen, we got something that I want to show you, man, that's happening at this high school. We had a kid jump in the crowd in Alabama, hit a parent. A player hit a parent. We've seen players coming out now with the hypothetical gunplay and with the Mossberg and all this crazy shit as a celebration tactic. And then we got an Alabama kid, throws a mouthpiece, kicks the ball, tells DeBoer, hell no, I ain't coming out. What part of the game is this? I have no idea. But take a look at this shit. And I'm going to give you context, Fred. This is the D coordinator, the white kid, and a player in a locker room, and then watch the kids around them just hitting the blunt. Go ahead, Staley.
No, coach, that's the polo. Hey, you bring my shit first. Hey, this fuck on me, little boy. Hey, this bitch fucking real too. I ain't worried. He ain't playing. I ain't worried. Stop playing with me. Or what? Or what? What are you gonna do? Shit, what the nigga here? What are you gonna do? We won. Or what? Big O's in this bitch, nigga. We were big O's in this bitch, nigga. Big O's in this bitch, nigga. What are you gonna do? Let go. Or what? I want you to let go with me. You got my niggas. Or what? You got my niggas. All right. Let go with me. All right, you walk off. Stop. Walk off. Joe. Let go of my shit. Shit, I'm ripped out the bed. Let go of my shit. You ripped me out the bed, so fuck go of my shit. Hey, boy, what the fuck you spit on me? Stop playing with me. Well, you smell me. Yeah, chill out. Let go of my shit. Let go of my shit. Let go. All right. Smooth. I know.
Man, I don't know, Coach. I'm just telling you right now. First of all, Coach is fired. I'm firing you. Number one. Number two, Coach. I don't get these young coaches. They hire these young coaches nowadays, Fred. I don't know if you've seen it or not in your area, but I see these coaches they hire to be these friends. Number one, and that right there is no more than they were friends some type of way, and then it got to where friends argued and became a friendly a fight amongst someone. This kid must think he's on an equal to the coach, and I just man. And then he got a guy hitting the blunt. Like, what is going on in football?
It was so much to unpack in that locker room that man, you know, you say the coach is fired. I think once the principal sees this, I think the head coach is fired. There's got to be some kids removed from that situation. But I'm kind of like you. I think it's, and you know, like I know, man, we have to have a fine line with these kids. They've got to know that we care about them. They got to know that we love them. They got to know that we have their best interest and, you know, at heart. But they also got to understand there's a line. And I'm kind of like you. There probably wasn't a line drawn right there. We probably have joked and laughed and wrestled and punched each other, slap box. We probably have done all that up until that moment, and then it just got serious. And the kid didn't separate. The coach couldn't separate. You know, it's just one of those things, man. Even though they're young coaches, they got to understand, like with our GAs, you know, our coach, Coach Thomas, said, even though you're GA, you're in college with these kids, you're no longer with these kids. You're held to a different standard. And they've got to understand that. That means the parties they're at, you can't be at. You know, the hangout spots they hang at, you can't be at. You know, okay, you may be one or two. You was just on the team, no doubt. You're not on the team anymore. You're one of the college shirt guys. You've got to operate and move a different way now. And I don't know if that's being explained. I don't know if they understand that. But, yeah, that was a lot to unpack right there, man. Superintendent might be involved in that one.
You're right. I don't know, man.
You got drugs. You got, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on right there. At high school, you got a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we used to, every when I hire you, there's a coach's manual. We go through the whole thing. We spend 8 hours on it as a staff. That day, I'm going to get food, and this is our first staff meeting, and this is it right here. Here you go, Coach Fred. These are your duties. These are your non-negotiables. These are your expectations. I'm gonna evaluate you during the spring, the fall, the summer. You're gonna get an evaluation from me, and then there's gonna be an incentive-based contract that you're on as well. You sign Reggie Bush. Guess what? You're gonna get a bonus, and all these little things that go into it, right? And then there's also non-negotiables. They call you coach. The players better call you coach. I better hear a kid call you coach. And if they call you by your first name, you're going to be fired, coach. If I hear them call you by their first name, that means you got too comfortable with them some way, shape, or form. And then the player, you're going to be cut if I hear you call a coach by first name. All these little things that no one knows that goes on here.
I'm with you on that.
That avoids that right there, though, right?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Because I'm quick to tell a kid, they'll yell out, "Hey, Booze!" Hey, man, it's Coach Booze. I don't care if you play running back, if you play offense, you're on the defensive side. It's Coach Booze. Yep. It ain't hey Coach, hey Fred. No, it's Coach Fred. Let's get that understood up front.
Hey, it's crazy to say that, Booze, because the players at Garden City would call Booze, and I used to check their ass. Motherfucker, I don't care if he looks like a little young. You know how he's a little energetic. Yeah. His ass is Coach Booze. You better start calling him that shit. And it was crazy, man. That these young coaches, they get into the game and they don't want to hurt the kids' feelings by saying, "Call me Coach." You know, they don't know how to break that yet. And I think that's what you see in there.
Right, because I'll tell them up front. You don't have to go yes sir, no sir, but it will be yes coach, no coach. It won't be that other part. You know, I'll bend on that. That's cool. Some kids weren't raised that way. Some people weren't raised the yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. I get it, but there's got to be a respect tag on that.
It's funny you said that too, because I didn't allow kids to call me sir. I was different, I guess. That's probably the hood in me though. But I was like, I ain't your daddy. I ain't your daddy. You don't need to call me sir. And I looked at it a different, because I used to I wouldn't call another adult sir when I was growing up, because my daddy taught me like, nah, we don't know that motherfucker. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I was that way with my players. Don't call me sir. I ain't your daddy. But coach, just like a doctor earned doctor, coach has earned coach, and it carries for life.
Yes.
A doctor, when he retires, is still doctor. I don't contrary to belief. I don't know. It is what it is, but it's funny. What's your biggest takeaways? I got a list to do with you, and I want to go back and forth with you on a top 5 NFL list, because every Wednesday we're going to do our top 5, and every week will change based on what the records are and the performances. But I want to do this top 5 with you right out the gate.
That's right.
Bailey, let's go. Let's bring it in, Bailey. Here's my top 5 NFL performances. Next week, it'll probably be different. But right now, I got the Vikings at 1. They're undefeated. Nobody thought they would be. Sam Darnold's player of the year, comeback player of the year, could be up for the MVP. I think the Vikings are the best team in football right now. Their defense is better than everyone thought. Their offense is obviously getting the ball around Sam Darnold's exceeding expectation. And they're undefeated. I got the Chiefs. They're number 2. They're undefeated as well. I don't think they're playing as well as the Vikings, but they're undefeated. They're defending champs. You got to beat them regardless. You got to beat them. They're undefeated as well. The Ravens right now are playing, you could argue, getting those last 3 wins after starting 0-2, have balled out. They're playing as well as anybody. The Texans, I know they're 4-1, haven't played their best, but they're 4-1. And the Lions are the same, Fred. I think those are the best 5 teams in football right now. Where are you at?
I'm changing 1 and 2 strictly because I'm of the belief until you beat the champ, that's what it is. But I'm with you. The Vikings are playing really good. No one expecting them to beat them.
I'm just going by week to week what we've seen this year. And the Chiefs have won every game under 6 points, I believe, until they finally beat last week's opponent, the Saints, by 13 or whatever. That was their and Mahomes didn't even throw a touchdown. He's thrown his least amount of touchdowns to start a season in his career. He threw for 300, but no touchdowns. They're struggling at wideout, in my opinion, with Rashee Rice going down. What are they going to do? Are they going to try to get a Devontae Adams, et cetera? The run game is not there really with the injury.
Which is scary.
They're still winning, though.
Which is scary.
The Chiefs never seem to cover. It seems like they're a betting nightmare, but they win. So it's a very ironic situation. But I agree with you that you got to knock out a champ. But right now, I think the Vikings are the best team in football.
I'm with you. And then I would have a 5B, and I'm a little biased on this, but I would have to have the Commanders 5B with the Lions.
Yeah, I was titter-tottering with them because I'm just like, are they really for real?
Right.
And I know it's NFL. You beat the NFL. There's no easy games. I don't care what people think. But I would have them at 6 though, for sure. I'd have them at 6, and they're tinkering with 5. But the Lions have been there. I think they're going to get better.
Yes.
And then the Bucks, a couple weeks ago could have been in this list when we started, but I wanted to get 5 games out into the belt before I started doing this each week. So I think right now, I don't know, it'd be hard pressed to argue any other teams other than Washington being in this 5.
I'm with you, and then I had a question for you, and you brought it up. I try to end the deal with something for you and Smitty, but since you brought it up, what's too early to start talking about MVP races?
I'm gonna start talking about it in a week or two. Why are you saying that? Are you saying that because of Jaden?
No, I'm saying that because him, and then people are throwing Darnell out there.
Now Lamar's back. Josh Allen was probably the early on. He is still the odds-on favorite, but he's kind of plateaued with that team. They've lost 2 in a row.
Right.
Derrick Henry could be in the situation, but I think it's going to go to a QB. That offense is starting to blend. I said in the beginning they started off 0-2, but before the season started, I said, man, I thought it was a bad signing. I don't think that offense is going to mesh. They've won 3 in a row now, so everybody's like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Let's give it time, because now that we're seeing what's been changed by Todd Monken and the offense, he's figuring some things out. But so will defenses, right, Coach? The defenses are going to say, all right, we're going to start loading the box then and make Lamar beat us with the pass. We're going to see.
And can they play from behind?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And can they play from behind with what they're doing? As long as they're even or ahead, they can continue on. But can they play from behind with what they're doing? And that's a great question there, Coach.
Where you got C.J. Stroud at? They're winning still. He had the great year last year. Jaden Daniels is on This is what's crazy. Jaden Daniels had a statistical better year than Joe Burrow had at LSU his last year when he won the Heisman. And right now he's on pace to have a better year than CJ had. And CJ had the best rookie campaign ever in NFL history. Jaden Daniels is breaking narratives here. It's interesting. Like right now, so let's just talk about it just in layman, just to shits and giggles. Right now, week 5, MVP, you're the voter. You're the final vote. Who's your MVP then?
I mean, that's tough, but I think, and I say you got to give it to the young kid because no one expected the Commanders to be here. No one expected the Commanders to be playing as well as they are, and no one expected him to be playing as well as he is. And I'll be honest with you, I thought the mistake was made when he hired Cliff Kingsbury. Because I just didn't know. To me, I don't know how you go to that system, so to speak, with that kid, but he's worked it out. He's the same, but he's not the same as he was in Arizona calling plays. But I think the kid gets the nod because he's got a team somewhere that no one expected the team to be. And that, to me, is the MVP criteria. It's not the best team with the best player. To me, it's the best player, and the best player makes everybody around them better.
I brought this up with Smitty, though. Kingsbury sure is looking good now when you have a quarterback that actually executes the offense and not runs around back there like Kyler Murray did, huh?
Looks a lot different. Dan looks really, really smart for hiring him. Dan Quinn looks really smart for hiring him. A lot of people question him.
So let's talk about Coach of the Year. So we saw a guy get fired after 5 games yesterday, and Robert
I want
Salah.
to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, because it's ironic. I think they fired the most inconsequential guy in the whole organization. This guy has no bearing on that organization. They fired the figurehead of the organization when the OC is still employed today, who's been fired at Denver, who has the worst offense in football as far as creativity. They're the worst team on first and second down in the NFL, the Jets. And they fired the head coach, not the OC. Blows my mind, number one. Number two, he lost his job in the summer when he allowed Aaron Rodgers to miss OTAs, mandatory camp, and then not play in the preseason. That's why I think he got fired.
It's I'm with you with all those things, and then when you start talking about the show, it never makes sense because the tag why he got fired is because the lackluster offense. He don't call plays, and to my knowledge, he's a defensive guy, right? So
their defense I think their defense hasn't allowed more than 20 points all year.
No, defense is playing decent. And unless it was a situation, which from all reports that I heard, it couldn't have been the situation unless they said, hey, coach, get rid of the OC or you got to go. And he stood on it. I'm not going to get rid of him. And then, okay, now. But they said he showed up and he was escorted out, and this was reported on.
I heard it was a physical escort.
Yeah, that's what I said. This was reported on.
So did he get mad? Did he get thrown under the bus by Hackett? Did wait up? I saved your ass, and now you want to stab me in the back? Listen, I tell people all the time, man, don't be shocked to get stabbed in the back. Just sometimes it's shocking when you turn around and see who's holding the knife, and who knows? And then there's reports now that Aaron Rodgers called Woody Johnson and said, "Don't fire Hackett because I run this." Aaron Rodgers like, it's my shit. And I run the O, and if you hire a new OC, I don't have full autonomy as I do. So I think there's a lot going on here.
Millions of dollars flowing, man. Millions of dollars flowing.
Let me ask you though, this guy Woody Johnson, who continued just like Jerry Jones in Dallas, when you're the billionaire owner, there's no questioning you. You can't be questioned. There's never going to be a question. It doesn't matter what we say, because you're the owner and you are the judge, jury, and the executioner. And I got to be honest, this guy bought this team in 1968, coach, and they ain't won since.
The 68 Jets, baby.
I mean, this guy hasn't never won. So we continue to hire coaches, and guess what? Under his tenure since 68, name me a legitimate big-time quarterback in that organization. You've gone through Chad Pennington, Brett Favre on a borrow deal, Aaron Rodgers on a borrow deal. You draft, Noel Mazzoni was there. You draft Mark Sanchez, the butt fumble era. And Rex Ryan had that team in the playoffs beating the Patriots. So that was a great defense as well.
Fire Rex.
I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like, when are you going to look? You had Vinny Testaverde. You had lefty, what was his name? Kenny Easton.
Kenny Easton. That was probably the best. That was probably the best situation they had quarterback-wise. Kenny Easton.
Ken O'Brien. They've had guys that just have never had a real big time. They've never had the Marino. They had Michael Vick on a borrow deal. They had, I don't know, man, but they've had legit running backs. They've had legit defenses. They've had some pretty good wideouts. You draft Keyshawn early. You get Van Dyke. You get a couple guys early on.
Van Dyke.
Remember that? Nevada had like 150 catches in Nevada one year.
Van Dyke, yeah.
I'm just saying, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's very ironic that they continue to just go through quarterbacks, go through head coaches, but the owner's sitting there like, it's not my fault.
In New York, baby. They gonna come.
Media, too.
Yeah.
It's crazy. What's your takeaway from college football, man? Seeing all the hypothetical gunplay celebrations by these players, and then the shitbirds who doesn't want to come off the field. Alabama loses to Vanderbilt. I've been on this I've been on this kick, man. This is not parody.
I tweeted you about that. I tweeted you about that, about the kid Alabama. I tweeted you about that. I'm like, hey, what would you do in this situation? So I'm gonna kick it to you first. And I know you've talked about it already, but I hadn't heard it. So at that moment, what is JB doing?
I'm using every timeout I have, and then I'm taking every penalty I have until that kid's off the field. Number one. Number two, like T. Rich said, this never happens under my team or Nick Saban's team or a T. Rich-led team or a team led by a real captain. There is no more leadership no more because of the portal. All these kids are boys now looking for a bag of money, and so they're not going to ever hold each other accountable. And we're in the jersey swap era, so everybody's boys now. So I don't think that you're going to have that leadership. My players would have pulled that cat off the field, number one. And then number two, that kid would have been. I gotta make sure that everyone understands I'm at a JUCO. My job is to get that dude from doing that at Alabama when he goes to Alabama. That's why I never had a kid arrested or going to jail or any of that shit when they leave my program.
Because that's the mindset that they have of a kid that's at JUCO.
Yeah, it's football jail, right? I got to get out. Now we're seeing kids, another kid, JUCO kid, a Lackawanna kid, got arrested yesterday at Georgia. Another Georgia kid under Kirby Smart arrested for assaulting a unborn child, apparently, and his baby mom. Again, it gives JUCO a bad light because, again, the JUCO coaches aren't on their kids' asses. We're begging these kids not to transfer. We're begging them. We're friends, like you just saw in that locker room situation. We're not coaches no more. We're not mentors. We're not teachers. We're not adulting. And we're now equals because these kids now, player empowerment now rules the world. As T. Rich and I said yesterday, T. Rich is at a high school, and you know this high school well, a legendary high school in the country in Hoover, in Alabama, that the head coach got fired for going at a kid. And now T. Rich is now there in this situation. And again, we're seeing this thing because you can't coach anymore. You can't coach hard anymore. And now it's player empowerment. It's enabled kids who are entitled because the enabler are the adults.
Yes.
And we've enabled these kids, and we can't blame the kid now. You got to blame somewhere where it happened. And I think we allow it more than we coach it.
Yeah, in that situation there, I mean, I get it. You're mad. You're upset. You're frustrated. I'm assuming the competitor. But you got to understand there's a line. And that's not the first time that kid has acted that way. I'm just telling you. And anybody that thinks that's the first time that kid's acted that way, you're fooling yourself.
That's what I'm saying, man.
You know, that has happened in 2 days. You know, that happened in camp, you know, at some point. And we chose to kind of sweep it under the rug, you know, not start him or whatever. But that's, you know, to me, in that situation, you've got to stop that right now, Coach. Because if you don't, if they hit the practice field this week and that kid was still in the starting lineup and he wasn't down there on scout team, now the Borg has a whole bigger issue brewing.
And that locker room.
Yeah, and you know that. And I don't know if the casual fan understands what we're saying in that situation, because you're going to be caught again in the heat of the battle where it comes down to nut cutting time. Now, how is this kid going to react when he gives up the 3rd and 15 and they're able to run out the clock? Now, is he finna hit somebody? I mean, I've never seen anybody go and kick the ball after the ref has placed it. I've never seen that. I've seen Brian Cox walk off with the double barrel. I've seen him come out the tunnel. I've seen a lot of things, but I've never seen anybody do that. I don't know if you have, but I've never seen anybody do that, man. That was crazy.
Stay out there?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was absolutely crazy.
Listen, the current landscape, before we end it with some hell yeah, hell no, the current landscape of college football, not only with travel and the leagues, we saw Miami's equipment truck go from Miami to Cal Berkeley. And it was a viral video because he showed his path as he traveled all the way from Miami to Cal Berkeley, which is now he's traveling back right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, he ain't made it back yet.
No, hell, now there's a hurricane. So now
you got to stop somewhere.
So James Franklin has come out and addressed and said everything that we're saying and I've been saying for a long time. SC's gone to Michigan and Minnesota
in one season
in that division. And take a listen to what James had to say with travel in the Big Ten.
Yeah, so that's your second part of your question is a big part of us leaving on Thursday is we cannot fly out of state college. So that was a big part of our discussions with the Big Ten when all this thing got started is not only are we one of the most northeast schools, but based on runway length, size of plane, weight of plane, fuel on the plane. We can't get out of here unless we would stop for fuel. So with that, we got to fly out of Harrisburg. So to me, that's one of the things I think we have to discuss is increasing the size of the runway here and the size of the airport for a lot of reasons, for the university, for the community, for businesses, for the athletic department, and for us now that we've decided to make this move as a Big Ten. To me, that's something that we need to do for a lot of different reasons. But that's a big part of it. Is you're talking about adding another 2 hours to your trip on top of the flight. I think the flight's already 5.5 hours or whatever it is.
I think it was the biggest mistake ever to realign this shit, but that's just me. I said it years ago when it was in discussion. The Pac-12 being broke up like it was is just bad for football, in my opinion. Not only West Coast football, but just bad in general. Now we got teams that are going to this division. I don't know. Oregon plays Ohio State this week, which is the biggest game on the slate. Penn State travels west out here. SC loses to Minnesota. Bama loses to Vandy. Tennessee loses to Arkansas. I mean, it's just this is the norm now. It's not good football. It's not parity. It's watered down, and now we're traveling at an all-time high, and then administrators and these people are still going to call these kids student athletes. Blows my mind. You don't care about these kids' education, and you don't care about anything they're doing. It's all about money. These kids are traveling across the country now. Cal playing Florida State. I mean, Virginia. I mean, this shit is crazy. Where are you at with this realignment? Where are you at with the travel? And where are you at with what we say? Oh, it's about the kids' safety. It's about the kids' health. It's about the kids' academic. Can the NCAA just come out and say, listen, we're liars. It's about the money.
Realignment, if it made sense, but it makes no sense. Football as we know it, Pac-12 has always been left coast. You know what I mean?
That's the AP poll, right? We don't get to see the West Coast play because you guys are asleep
by the time it kicks off. You know what I mean? And I get it. You don't want to stay the same, but evolving to this makes absolutely no sense. You lose so much in it, not just the rivalries, but you lose the second part of what you asked. You lose the convenience of travel. As far as the home and aways, now the home and aways become ridiculous. And, you can write it down right now, have the producers write it down, because at the end of the year, someone's going to come up and say that they were dealt a bad schedule. This is why they fell short on the last game of the year to get into the playoffs, to get to the championship game or whatever. Scheduling is going to come up again. You mark my words, and it's going to be on one of those situations where my team was tired. We had to go from left coast to right coast. It's going to come up. And then thirdly, they're never going to come out and say it, but we all know it's about money, man. And, I agree wholeheartedly, but the junior college, the high school coach in me, the 1AA coach in me, I don't have sympathy for $1 million, millions of dollars type of program moaning and whining about the travel, because you travel the best way. You make it as comfortable as you want to make it. It's not like them having to get on the bus in Independence, Kansas, and go to Garden City. You want to talk to me about that kind of travel. You know what I mean? By bus, you're traveling by plane. You make it as comfortable as you want to. So when I hear those guys that make all that money and the programs make all that money whine and complain, it's hard for me to not take it to heart. You know what I mean? I take it to heart because we've all been student athletes. And yeah, it's tough. Different time zone for those kids leaving Cal to come to the East Coast. I mean, you got to play it right. Your ops people have to be on top of their game to make sure your travel matches with the time zone you're going to. Get your body adjusted for a week, whatever. It's tough, no doubt about it. But you have the means to be able to make that happen.
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy. I want to show this real quick because Florida is going through it, and I've never seen weather like this in my life. Bailey, put that in when you can. But before that, to end the show, I want to show you this real quick. This kid got fined in the NFL for lead blocking, and this is the tailback playing fullback here. Blocks the regular football play. The fullback right there hits the backer, knocks him down. Coach Fred, he got fined $40,000 for that hit. What are we doing?
I don't get it, Coach. I don't get it. That was contact.
What are we doing, dog? So what's he supposed to do right there? What's he supposed to do right there? Let him make the play?
I don't understand what the person that said, yeah, that's a fine. I don't understand what their angle is with that. He didn't launch. He didn't go to the legs. He stayed high. I don't understand that one, Coach.
This is the pussification that we've allowed, man. Hey, look, you got people in Florida. Look at this, man. Not only hurricanes, you got tornadoes during the hurricane, which I've never seen. That's I-75.
That's the crib there. I-75, yeah.
How you got tornadoes and hurricanes?
That makes no sense.
How you got hurricanes and tornadoes? I got buddies in Florida who've said, I've never seen the weather like this in my 45 years of life. Just as far as the lightning, the wind, everything. He's like, I've never seen nothing like this. He said to me, he goes, it seems so fake to me. And I don't want to get into conspiracies and all that. He's like, it seems so fucking fake of all the shit that I'm seeing out here. I'm just like, that's crazy. Tornadoes and hurricanes?
At the same time. Hey, so before we end up, man, with hell yeah, hell no, I got one more for you. Because that other one was for Smitty. This is for you. So the NFL came out with a report that was basically saying arrests of NFL players are down by half. What's your thought on that? Why would you put that out there? And I'm going to give you my take and you give me your take.
Because it's so bad. And the truth of the matter is that it's so bad that Roger Goodell has to get some sort of manufactured statistics out there, because we all know statistics don't tell the story. And I think he has to put some manufactured statistics out there to defend himself, because he's a safety first, players first. And then you see all the shit that you see in the end zones and the corporate sponsorships that's funding the NFL. I think that it's just PR, and it's a PR stunt that they have to do to protect Roger Goodell, who gets paid more than God as a commissioner, who's, in my opinion, has failed the NFL at the all-time high. And the truth of the matter is, half of what being reported, or is it what is the half? Because I'm trying to figure out. You're finding guys for a legitimately normal football play, $45,000, and then you want to talk about arrest or down?
By half.
Here's the reason why. Number one, half of the other half hasn't been settled yet, because you got Rashee Rice, who's legally still open case. That's why he's not suspended in the NFL. You'll suspend guys for betting for a whole season, but Rashee Rice can play all year. And then you got guys like Deshaun Watson, who all of a sudden now gets another allegation thrown at him, but then 2 days ago it was wiped clean because he settled again. Is that part of your half? I'm trying to figure this out. I want to get your take though before we end it.
Coach, I mean, I don't put that out there just because of how close that comes out to, like you said, the Deshaun Watson thing. Again, the Tyreek Hill thing the last couple of weeks ago, and then the assault with the one guy with his pregnant girlfriend. If we're going to put that out there, we don't put that out there right now, because that doesn't match up. It doesn't jive. You know what I mean? And to me, that stat is something that is expected. You're expected not to get arrested. That should be the expectation. The expectation should be to have zero. You know what I mean? And, we talked about in the office, kind of joking around the other day. I'm not selling 23 of nothing if I've done nothing. If I ain't did it, we going to court.
Coach, I got accused of 8 felonies. You know that in Kansas when I left. They wanted me to settle. Settle what? I ain't guilty. I didn't do shit. Yeah, you got me fucked up. Excuse my friends. I'm not settling for shit if I didn't do it. And I beat it. And I spent a lot of money to defend my name because that's all I got. So, I'm not going to settle. Deshaun Watson, you settled for a reason, dog. That's really what it is. We're not talking about Von Miller, Jabril Peppers, Rashee Rice, all these other shitbirds that have done what they've done and no one wants to talk about. And you want to bring out this stat now that we got less arrests than ever? What?
Yeah. That just blows my mind every time. Like, I just want to get over it. I want to get it past me. Okay, but we ain't settling. We're going to get it over because we're going to settle for a quick court date. That's what we're doing. You know what I mean? We're going to ask for a speedy trial. That's what we're doing, but we're not going to settle if I've done nothing.
And this is the crazy part, man. I've yet to see a former player, former coach, a homie just in the hood, a friend of Deshaun Watson say, hell nah, Deshaun ain't that guy. Why have I not seen that? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know why no one brings that up. Like, that's
a great point. I've never thought about that until you said that.
If I got homies that are going to be coming out like, man, y'all doing JB wrong. That motherfucker JB ain't never done no shit like that. He would never do that shit. He got a daughter. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. You know what I'm saying? Like, why I never seen one cat come out and defend Deshaun Watson?
Now that you bring that up, man, you are absolutely right.
Where's Dabo Swinney?
He's quick to grab the mic.
Where's the former players? Like his homies that played on those Clemson teams.
Or even the Texans teams. You're right.
Now, one player from the Texans has come out and said, man, that ain't Deshaun.
I've never thought about that till you said that. You're absolutely right.
I'm just saying. And where's your lawyers and your PR team to get fake manufactured people to come out and say he didn't
high school teacher, somebody.
Like not one person, not one, because they all say that motherfucker was weird in high school. That motherfucker was weird in college. Like I'm telling you, dog, is when there's smoke, there's fire. There's smoke, there's fire.
Oh man, I've never thought about that till you said that. Wow, you're exactly right.
Man, I'm telling you. Tomorrow's football game. Tomorrow, Thursday. Last week we finally had a good Thursday night game. Tomorrow. We have a football game that's on Amazon Prime. We hate to see those games because they're always bad. But listen, college football now is back to every day. The MAC and
MAC traction
and all these other teams play. But tomorrow you get the 49ers Seahawks, a division game. The Seahawks are actually 3-2. The Niners are 2-3. Where you at with that game?
Seahawks have got to win this one just because the Niners are so banged up and they are free falling. Their quarterback's not playing the best, and this gives Seattle a chance to rebound from that loss that they took, and gives them a game, a chance to get a game up. I just feel like Seattle's got to take this one, and if I was a betting guy, that's kind of who I would roll with. Seattle and their defense versus San Fran and their quarterback. I'm taking Seattle's defense.
Yeah, that's a good point. Seattle's playing pretty decent on D. They lost this tough one to New York, though. I just thought they couldn't afford to lose, but they did, and it is what it is. Man, tell Booze I said what's up. Enjoy the week. We'll see you next week. We'll be back in the studio. Smitty will be back tomorrow, and then we'll end the week, and then we'll be back in the studio on the board and get some film with Noel and you. And who you guys got this week?
Man, we go to Grambling State. Division game. Tough.
Grambling, the legendary Grambling and Eddie Robinson.
Yep. We got them in their place this week, man. 2 o'clock Saturday, ESPN Plus. Tune in if you ain't got nothing going on.
No doubt, no doubt. Good football right there. We'll get to watch. All right, man. We'll see you next week. I appreciate you.
Hey, hit me up when you get done, yo.
All right.
Yep.
Peace. Appreciate everybody joining us. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member. And we'll see you tomorrow on the realest show on planet Earth for Truth Telling Thursday as we get ready for Amazon Prime Game of the Week again, as it is NFC West Showdown. Seahawks Niners. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Issues get pressed so fast you don't get sacked like bags and baggage. Smitty and Jason Brown, kill the, yeah, it's a rap. We what the game's been missing.